expert commentator and cult resident hero. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to an absolutely glorious afternoon here at Dick Burwell Oval on the Tamari Peninsula for this big game between Nelson Bay and Newcastle City in the Hunter Haval Black Diamond Cup. With me, as always, our expert commentator, resident umpire and guru, the great Lucas J. Holmes. Louis, hello.
Good afternoon, David. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a perfect day here. It's just the siren goes in the background. A perfect day here on the Tamari Peninsula.
Magnificent. It really is. Straight into some scores, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll keep the last score in the women's and to talk about that, Lucas. Singleton, a very good win at Rose Point Park over Warners Bay, 4-3, 27, 1-5, 11. In a tough game at Don Small Oval, Wyong Lakes, Lucas, which has got permutations for the 6, I beg your pardon, 4-4, 28. Killarney Vale 3-5, 23. Maitland were leading 120-0 over Musselbrook deep into the fourth quarter. Cardiff in a tight game over Lake Macquarie at Hillsborough, 5-15, 45, 4-11, 35. Here at Dick Burwell Oval, Sophie Balcom had an absolute blinder for Nelson Bay in their 21-21, 46 to 1 straight 6 victory over the Newcastle Novas. And Lucas, I think it's worth talking about Gosford and Newcastle City. Newcastle City went to Gosford, played at Adcock Park this morning, and Gosford would have expected to put up a very good show if they're going to have permutation, want to go far in the finals. Look at that score. Newcastle City 16-17, 113. Gosford 1 straight 6. Your comments, sir?
It was quite a surprising score, as you said. It was as we've kept saying, especially in that women's round, that if anyone, Gosford would be the ones to challenge either Nelson Bay or Newcastle City for the flag, but they just blew them off the park today. Newcastle City, but they're at full strength as well. Gosford, Alison Park, and Taryn O'Hare, Rachel Elcote, amongst others as well.
They're a phenomenon, this Newcastle City side. They're going to take some serious booting. The recruitment of players like Halverson, Mathewson and Haler have made a massive difference. But goodness gracious me, they're playing good football. On to reserve grade. One final score. Cardiff 21-10, 136, 3-3-21. And Lucas, we were speaking earlier off air. Cardiff are on top at the moment and going very nicely in reserve grade. Three-quarter times, Lucas Holmes' Warners Bay on their way to victory. Lucas, you can read that score out, mate.
Very good. Terrigal Avoca, 7-4, 46. Warners Bay, this is three-quarter time, 12 goals, 476.
A loaded Killarney Vale side, and I do mean loaded. Dane Amity, Brendan Lewis playing for Killarney Vale. They will go deep. If they keep that side together, look out. Killarney Vale, 21-9, 135 over Wyong Lake, 6 straight at three-quarter time. In a very good game at Adcock Park, Gosford 9-8-62, Newcastle City 5-11, 41. Onto the Black Diamond Plate, one complete game, the early one. Terrigal Avoca 12-8-80, Lake Macquarie 8-3-51. And Lucas Holmes, our last game with a score that we have. Singleton 7-8-50 to the entrance Baddo Bay, yet to score at quarter time at Rose Point Park. Lucas Holmes, the Nelson Bay side, if you wouldn't mind reading them out for today, please.
No problem, David. Nelson Bay Marlins, number 2, Adam Grenier. 3, Matt Jews. 5, the returning Luke Price. 6, Louis Jews. 7, the skipper Tim Duval. 9, Joel Erickson. 10, Aaron Clayton. 12, David Wood. 13, Chris Eddy. 14, the Elite Davey medalist Jaden Reimer. 15, Ryan Mudd. 20, Todd Thornton, rather. 22, Jordan Pritchett. 25, Billy Barton. 26, Ben Eddy. 27, Jeremy Eddy. 29, Ben Grace. 30, Alec Clark. 32, Tom Wood. 38, James Anderson. Laid out, 74, Luke Reimer. And 75, Tyson Farrett.
For Newcastle City, who have lost for today, Courtney and Mitchell Knight, Nick Gill and Connor Haswan. There's a big 4. And you were just talking about the Nelson Bay side. Their major ins, the Eddie Trio and Luke Price, makes a significant difference to this side, in my opinion. Newcastle City, Aidan Watling in 1, Mac O'Malley in 2, 4, Stephen Batten, 5, Luke Rawnsley, who made the best team ever in the Black Diamond Football League in the 2000s. I was doing a bit of research this week. Matthew Enright in 6, Sam Payne 10, Aaron Seen, the star in 11, Harry Keast in 14, 15, Ian Baker, 16, Cade Triffett, 17, Hugh Blanchfield, 18, Hamish Thompson, 19, Lucas Holmes, Jackson Crawford on the ground where he produced one of the best goals I think I've ever seen in any football anywhere a few weeks ago. Abe Gibson in 20, Reed Van Hustede in 22, the big man, Cam Keast 23, Liam Dyer 26, Max Quinlan 38, who's about, I think he's younger than you, Max Quinlan. I reckon he's about 16 or 17. Mitchell Black 40, Ethan Durbridge 44, Dylan Kalman in 48. And the hero from last week, Pat Gillingham, 6 goals in a thrilling win over Cardiff. Pat Gilliam, number 69, Louis.
He sure did. They've had some very good clashes of late. Have Newcastle City and Cardiff.
I would have loved to have seen a couple of them. That game last week under lights at number 1 must have been a thriller. And it has a massive... there's the foghorn goes back in the background. It has a massive effect on the 4. And we were talking again earlier on. Newcastle City and Cardiff both play. Terrigal have opened the last 2 weeks. So Cardiff are in the box seat to get the double chance, but it'll be fascinating to see. Look, this game today, let's worry about that. Very interesting, the ins and outs. So they they favour massively Nelson Bay.
Yeah.
And, we called Nelson Bay and Warners Bay last week at your beloved home at Fane Oval, and Luke Prices are laid out with illness. It's a vastly different looking Nelson Bay side today, although they're only playing with 21 men, which is surprising. Newcastle City certainly going to miss the Knight brothers, Gill and Haswell. Haswell might almost be the most important out. I see that Rawnsley's come back in. They've got Gibson, Thompson and Watling coming back in, so a lot of experience. I think that Newcastle City will just win, but do not be surprised to see Nelson Bay back home, where they're going to get a semi-final if they make the 4, of course, Lucas, because, as we're discussing, semi-finals are here for the first day of the competition. Your thoughts, please, on today?
I tend to agree with you in that perspective. Although with the big ins for Nelson Bay and the outs that Newcastle City have, I still think, even though we're up here at Dick Bell Oval, Nelson Bay are a significantly better side. I think Newcastle City may just get them, but their forward line, with the inclusions that we've already noted, are very potent with Luke Price as well as Eddie Brothers, especially Jeremy Eddie forward is always very good for them.
Indeed, he got back at 4 o'clock this morning from shift work in Port, so he'll probably be a bit tired. I'd like to thank our sponsors. I'm not going to do a full read, but I will read through all our sponsors. Our major sponsor, Lucas Holmes, Hunter Haval at East Maitland, Belmont 16-footer Sailing Club, where you'll have the job of controlling Marty Ryman and Benjamin Six Kernahan at the Elliot Daville Medi Night. That'll be interesting for you. And your friend Ben Hunter as well, I believe. GE Industrial Solutions, Pullman Magenta Shores Resort, ISC. Prime 7, and on Prime last night, the Swans were actually quite average against Hawthorn in a dual game of football. Star 105, 4.5 FM, Bar TV Sports. The entertainment grounds at the Central Coast have renewed their sponsorship. Yesterday we saw on the Facebook post from our League Operations Manager Gary Birkinshaw. We thank them very much. Sports Coast Trophy Embroidery, Marksman Workforce, and the great Subway Morisset. So, Louis, just about ready to go here. Should be a very good afternoon. Looking forward to calling with you once again, mate. Getting down to the serious end of the season. We'll be at Killarney Vale next week for a massive day for the Killarney Vale Footy Club, their premiership reunion, 87, 97, 2007, and of course Warners Bay were there. So Lucas Holmes, ladies and gentlemen, may come off a 3-game day. He may have women's umpiring, playing resis possibly, and then calling with me. So big day for you, Louis.
It'll be great. Just before we get underway, David, the umpires for today: field umpires Pat Lally, Dave Parsons, and Lincoln McCauley. Boundary umpires Myers McCauley and his 50th BDAFL match, Chris Valley. He's the 94th umpire to achieve that milestone, rather, David. 50th matches, and goal umpires Jake Lowe and John Sullivan.
Spoke to Jake. Drake and I got here earlier. He's in good form and looking forward very much to today. We went and had a good look at the ground. As you can see on your coverage, it's a little bit patchy in places, but it's very good underfoot and should produce a very good game of football. And I can't explain to people, I know there's a lot of people who watch us from different parts of New South Wales and Australia. It is a magnificent day here on the Tamari Peninsula. Lucas Holmes, it's almost good enough to get out on the water or get a cricket ball out and have a bit of a hit. I reckon it's just magnificent here today.
It's a perfect day. No place you'd rather be than at the football, David.
Absolutely not, mate. Calling footy on Bar TV, it's a privilege for both of us. I know we harp on it a bit, but it is great to be here, isn't it? It's most enjoyable. It's a highlight of my week every week to come watch really good football. Good to see Patrick Lally back umpiring. I haven't seen Pat for a couple of weeks in games that we've called, so great to have it. Who's a quality umpire, bounces the ball extremely well, very fit, ex-Samford experience, knows his stuff, doesn't he?
He sure does. Did a women's game last week, Pat Lally up at Rose Point Park.
And great to see that the league is giving Lincoln McCauley another crack at the central umpiring. Is very good for Lincoln. His dad's here to have a look at him today, so should be a big day. Billy Barton and Dylan Calvin in the setup. It's rock and roll time, ladies and gentlemen, with my great friend Lucas Holmes with me. Dave Parsons does a football, and we are away. Up the ball goes. Off Ryman to get the first touch, as he usually does. Billy Barton gets that ball down. Rawnsley's got this football. He'll hop onto his left. Very experienced and superb player that he is. Kate Trifford gets dragged out of that. Louis Jews gets the ball out. Barton's up and about early. Looks short. Finds a man. Jeremy Eddy back from Port Macquarie. Goes short to Price. Well, Barton, Matthew Jews, Jeremy Ollie, Luke Price. There's a template for success, Lucas Holmes.
Sure is. Two of the big ins, Jeremy Eddy and Luke Price combining there. Luke Price looking to have a shot and goal about 30 to 35 on a fairly difficult angle.
They are deep pockets here at Nelson Bay, a little bit different than your home at Waters Bay where they're reasonably narrow. This is a much wider pocket. Luke Price in his usual stuttery run up. What can he do? I think that ball's to the narrow side. It is. That's a behind. John Sullivan signals behind. Nelson Bay away, 1 point. Newcastle City yet to score. Ian Baker's got the football up in the Daintree. Tim Duval on the mark.
It's very early, very clean and crisp ball movement there. Billy Barton, the ruckman, had 3 or 4 efforts to get the ball deep inside forward 50.
Indeed. Baker goes far side. Oh, wobbles that ball. That's an ordinary kick, and that's Matthew. He'll go short and finds... That may be Grinia. No. Yeah, it is. Thank you. I still find it difficult to see at this distance, so... anyway, looks like it, well, it is. It's Adam Grinia. And Grinia has put that one to the far side, another behind. So Nelson Bay 2 behinds early. Up and about they are, Louis.
They are. Yet to find a way out of their defensive half, Newcastle City at this stage.
Had a chat with John Sullivan in the game we did, and he got cleaned up last week. Shirt fronted, he reckons. He says, I'm a bit stiff and sore, David, but I'm all right.
Long kick.
Yeah, terrific kick. Gets outside 50. Kalman can't quite get that football. Ball comes out. Ground level ball. Crash ball. Jeremy Eddy. Can he screw that ball around the hot spot? He can, but picked off by Newcastle City. Oh, lovely left foot there. He goes wide. Barton to come across. Couldn't quite get there. Jackson Crawford stayed underneath. Scene's in there. Kalman's in there. Off that ball goes to Grace. Back in the side this week. Buffeted out of that was Thompson. Scene trying to control the ball. Gets it out. Left-footed. Gets the ball about 15 metres forward. Handball, thank you. Grinia off the ground. Thornton goes as long as he can. Jeremy Eddy in front. Good punch. Good defensive discipline. Ball out of bounds. Half forward flank.
Cade Triffett there with that ball out of bounds. Very disciplined thing to do on the dangerous Jeremy Eddy.
It was. And they're going to have to mark Eddy. He, as you said, he's very dangerous. And it was noticeable how much they missed him last week. Although Warners Bay were very convincing. Jeremy Eddy makes an enormous difference to them. Kalman at the back. Everybody actually misses that. Scene's in there. Barton pushes off. Little 5-metre kick to Duval. Lovely little handball to Reimer. Intercepted, not 15. Comes back here. Grinia's in and about. Ball goes over him. Oh, surely over the top. No, great tackle, Grinia. Not paid. Must have paid duck in the head, Louis. Van Huist, that's almost a push in the back. Not paid. Thornton. Handball out. Ben Eddy gets that ball off now. There's a free kick here. Don't know what for. It's been paid to Jackson Crawford. Of course, play on, so that play was legitimately in play. Thompson. Clark taps it out. Ball comes back here. Enright. Oh, just gets it away, Triffett. Gets that ball into the forward 50. Off they go. Harry Keith. Sam Payne. We'll be looking for the big man. Ball drops forward. Quinlan's going to make a tackle. Does. Needs to make another tackle now. Ball at ground level. Held in. No tackle being made, so he can continue on. Reimer's in and under. Oh, comes out. I think the umpire might have blown his whistle, saying it's my footy.
It's just a quick observation early, David. Players are struggling to keep their feet at this present time.
Thank you, Lucas. Yeah, a bit slippery maybe out of foot. Oh, it just comes out. And that's a goal. Left-footed, I reckon that's Enright. It's either Enright or Payne. Just hang on a second. No, I'll just wait for the replay, Lucas. It is. It was Enright. So goal to Matthew Enright. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. I knew he was left-footed. So first goal of the day to Newcastle City. Matthew Enright off a crumb. Gets that football and hoops it over his shoulder off his left foot. His trusty left foot, Lucas Holmes. Newcastle, here we go. Enright, quick bang. Love a little 10-metre kick over the shoulder, and away they go.
First forward 50 entry, first goal for Newcastle City. Very clean and efficient.
Very. Dave Parsons with the football. Kalman and Barton. Barton favoured by that one. Louis Dews coming straight through. Cade Triffett's there to worry him out of it. Going straight through is Rawnsley. Right at the bottom of that pack. That will be held in, I'd imagine. Yeah. So, we're at centre half back. It's a 4-point lead to City. Kalman. Barton gets that one beautifully to Reimer. Tries to hit Matthew and can't quite get him. Had to be precise. Reimer gets the football back. Ball pops out the back. Oh, pushing the back and held out. Not paid. Reimer again. Third touch, Lucas, in about 60 seconds. Going backwards, Nelson Bay to try and control the foot. He squares it up very cleverly. Jeremy Eddy goes long. Up to the hot spot. Price! Couldn't quite grab it. Now they're in trouble, Newcastle City. Luke Price has got this. Oh, the smothering effort just did enough. Tap it out. No mark pay. That's over the shoulder. Tim Duval saying something in there, and I think you'll find it's a ball up.
Yeah, umpire McCauley saying play on.
Thank you, Lucas. Thought Price was immoral to kick that one. Oh, Barton pushes in the back, gets away with it. Ball comes out. Crawford taps that ball out. They want that ball out. Grenier does keep it in, however. Jeremy Eddy brushes the tackle with his upper body strength. Then the ball comes out. There's Matthew. There's Louis. No, that's Grenier, actually. Grenier gets it out. That's Braunsley and goes long as he can. Gets the ball up to the wing. Thornton, who's been superb for Nelson Bay this year. Got to get rid of that. Just does. Great closing speed and picked off at the back. Almost a push in the back, you know. Baker. No, actually, it's not Baker. My bad. I think it could be Ethan Durbridge, actually. 75's Farron. Gets the ball away to Barton, who's been lively early. Reimer's in there. Barton again goes with a little grubber. Couldn't quite pick that up. Still going. Handball 2. Sam Payne. Another handball. Comes out. He's errant. Goes to Pritchett from Nelson Bay. Goes hot spot. 1-on-1. Price. Goal coming, Clayton. He won't miss from there. Snowy Clayton, the vastly experienced veteran. Nelson Bay, 1-2-8. Newcastle City, 1 straight. Lucas J. Holmes.
Hunter Haval, looking for a feature-packed premium SUV for your family? Check out Hunter Haval and the range of affordable SUVs. Starting from just $23,990, drive away with a 5-year warranty and 5 years roadside assistance. Hunter Haval, give you more. Book your test drive today.
Harrison Keister's got his hands full with Luke Price up there. If Price stays up in that forward line, there's a little bit of a height difference, and he'll be struggling up there all day. So Price gets it. Clayton beautifully roves. Nothing Chris could do about it. And, of course, Clayton, who's got a lovely left foot, slots that one, Louis. So good start for the Bay. They're back.
Clayton started very well last week, but because of Warner's Bay's efficiency inside forward 50, had to put him back and basically took him out of the game because of that.
He's the first person, I reckon, this year that's beaten Lachlan Deverell hands down.
Yep.
And that's not being rude to Lachlan. He was just too strong and too experienced for them, I thought, Lucas. Out the ball comes. Little short right foot kick, beautifully spotted. Crawford goes short himself. No one at the back. Now, that's Enright. Can he kick his second goal? I reckon he might. Little drubber! Well done, Enright. So 2 goals early for Enright, playing in a forward pocket type position. Newcastle City 2 straight. Nelson Bay 1 goal 2. Lucas Holmes.
Belmont 16-footer sailing club. Located on the picturesque Lake Macquarie, Belmont 16s is one of the premier venues in the Hunter region, offering the very best in dining, promotions and entertainment. For all the latest news and promotions, visit 16s.com.au or find us on Facebook, the home of the Black Diamond AFL.
Yes, very good closing speed from Chris Eddy, but he couldn't quite stop Enright getting a little left footer, and he did the business, had a little bit of bias on that one, and away he went. So back in front, City, 12 points to 8, 4-point difference. Kalman and Mudd's now in there. You'd imagine Kalman will win most of those tap-outs. He's just a bit tall for him. Thornton at the back. Well done, Kalman, to put the body on, and out that ball comes into the forward 50 again. Just goes in. Oh, great pick-up, Mudd. Ball out to Duval on centre wing. True centre wing. Asking for someone to come to him. And that player is Jeremy Eddy. Thank you, Louis. Eddy up there again. Shepherded put on. Mac O'Malley, lovely handball. Really good. Good football, Newcastle City. Van Huisted, a young star. Played good representative football this year, Lucas Holmes, along with your clubmate, McGrath. Ball goes long, up towards Quinlan, who's nudged out of that one. Where are the Rovers? Out of bounds, near the 50-metre arc.
Kai McGrath back this week, but also is the 3-time Elliot Davey medalist in James Webster, David, in that game at Hilton Moore Oval.
Yeah, goodness me. As if they need him.
That midfield, Scoos, Bishop, Sam Ellis, Fleming.
Fleming and Billons aren't playing, and that's how they'll come back. It shows you how deep they are. Keystall tapped that one forward, gets it a long way, but it's picked off beautifully. Grenier, as is usually his style, evades a player. And they're away down here now. What's going to happen? O'Malley drops what he otherwise might have taken. Gums up beautifully. Puts that ball back into their forward line. Going up. was Blanchfield. Couldn't quite get the mark. Strengthened it. Pat Gillingham gets the football out. Hurried kick comes out from Nelson Bay. Cowman should have marked that. Muckman have got to take those marks. Handball comes out to Stephen Batten. 3-4 handballs. Now, can Triffett finish? Near side behind. So first behind today for Newcastle City. Newcastle City 2-1. Nelson Bay 1-2. LJ.
Started a bit slow, Newcastle City, but really starting to find their groove now.
Absolutely. Finding their groove. Modern term. Not sure if I come up with those words, but you are a wordsmith, Lucas Holmes. At that ball comes to the short, to the pocket, to the out. Keast is on the mark. Now that's dangerous. Oh, really good grab, Benetti. That's a quality mark. The twin brother of Jeremy, and absolutely makes me look like a goose with a shocking kick, but he's not the first person to make me look like a goose, Lucas Holmes. Okay, so we have a ball up, half forward flank. Newcastle City up by 5 points. Enterprising start to this one. Cowman in front, gets a left-hander to it. Seen, who's been quiet early. Batten. Now it's a one-on-one. Who's got the mark? Oh, Quinlan, too big, too strong. You know, one of the results of the change to the competition with the equalisation policy is that Newcastle City have basically been forced to play a lot of their younger players. And that's the scary thing for us, is that once these guys really get the hang of it, they're going to have all these really good crop of juniors who's being exposed to good footy, Louis. Quinlan, and he's finished, and he's let all of the Tamari mention know about it. Nelson Bay, 1-2-8. Newcastle City, 3-1-19 after 11 and three-quarter minutes. Lucas J. Holmes.
GE Industrial Solutions. GE Industrial Solutions, partnering with the mining community in the Hunter for the past 50 years, delivering safe and reliable electrical equipment and engineering services to our customers. Also proud to sponsor the BDAFL women's competition.
Thank you, Lucas. Yeah, Newcastle City going along okay at the moment. They've steadied, haven't they?
They are. We touched on it a fair few weeks ago now, just as the ball's coming back to the centre with those youngsters such as Quinlan and Van Hoysteed, with the inclusions, not today obviously, but with Courtney Knight, Nick Gill, with the Gill and Courtney Knight obviously taking the number 1 and 2 defenders, which is now allowing Van Hoysteed and Quinlan, the younger bodies, to sort of assert their dominance on slightly weaker opponents, but today...
Very good, Lucas. Very good. Very, very perceptive, mate. Right on the money. Out the ball comes. It's a bit of cannonball in there. Eventually comes out Newcastle City. And staying on his feet's Black. Oh, too quick was the handball probably for Triffett. Black's got to get rid of that. He's in trouble. He does. Gibson, lovely work down low. Batten, short little handball. Well done, Newcastle City. Oh, no, can't quite be picked up by Grinia. Now they're going through. Now, this is Blanchfield. What can he do? He's got a handball out now. Man on here. Enright's on his left. Oh, he couldn't, could he? Oh, my goodness. What a terrific kick. Show us that replay. Matthew Enright on his dominant side, but Lucas Holmes, that's a superb snap at goal.
Was losing his balance too, Matt Enright, which made the goal even more significant and more spectacular, should I say.
Just waiting to see if we can get a replay of that. Here we go. So Enright on his left. Lots of pressure coming from Chris Eddy. And watch that ball just curves at the end. Jake Lowe says that's 3 goals to Matt Enright in the first quarter. What a start. Newcastle City 4-1, Nelson Bay 1-2. And Chris Eddy looks like he's got his hands full with Matt Enright up there today, Lucas, particularly getting onto his left foot, mate. Cowman gets that one out. Batten, who's been prominent in the last 5 minutes. Lovely pick-up. Blanchfield, who seems to be a very skilled player, Lucas Holmes. Ball comes out. Grinia trying to get some ball. Does. Gets it back to Grace. He'll go onto his left. Look for a little short pass. He's beautiful. One-handed mark. Jeremy. Away he goes. Centre half forward. Clayton tries to hold his ground. O'Malley's on him. We won't let him go. For some experience here. O'Malley goes along. Gets to ground level. Does superbly well. And then gets tackled. Louis might also have got a free kick there. Out the ball comes from Gibson to Triffett. City under all sorts here. Louis Jews is in there. Right-handed handball. Cowman's in there. But coming straight through is Newcastle City. Lovely work from the fullback there. Didn't quite catch his number. Barton. Handball back to Grace. Finds a handball. Oh, lovely little shimmy by Ericsson. Goes square. Looking for Benetti. Looking for Matthew, but that gets picked off. Well done. Now, I haven't got an 8 on my list, so we might have to check that out. I thought that might have been... It is. We've got a number 8 out there, Lucas. I might get you checked out at quarter time, please. Ball comes out. Pat Gillingham, can he get in front? Quinlan's looking for a handball out, but he gets tackled. It's a throw, so an excellent tackle by Thornton under enormous pressure. Goes square, Grinier's away.
We'll take space too. Sorry,
you.
David.
No problems, Louis. One bounce, two bounces. Grinier right in front of the com box, looking for Snowy Clayton. Oh, no, that's actually Duval. My bad. Duval, left-handed handball out. Is that Matthew? Could have been Louis. Kalman at the back. He will look to give off. He does beautifully to Black. And over here to Rawnsley. That cultured left foot stands up and finds Dwyer. Going cross field. Got to take that mark. 2-on-1. Benetti's stayed on his feet. Looking for a disposal. Gets it off to Erickson. Off to Price. Goes backwards. Thornton goes wide. He's got some space, Matthew. Ball just evades him. Going through O'Malley. Matthew gets a kick out very quickly. Kalman will mark this one just beyond the centre circle.
Nelson Bay player just quickly. David come off second best in that contest. He's back to his feet now.
Thank you. Kalman goes as long as he can. Good kick, actually. Excellent kick, Kalman. Finds Crawford half forward flank just in front of the 50. Crawford will look to give off. Just goes over Quinlan's head. Ben Huisteed's in there. That ball will go, as Lucas Holmes so regularly says, great result for City if they couldn't score, Lucas. They get a stoppage.
It is that Nelson Bay player being Chris Eddy, just at your bottom of the screen there, just running back towards the contest with the hands on his head.
Hands on head, thanks. So yep. Chris has just come back. That's good to see.
Possibly just being winded there, David?
Yes. Cam Keith left-handed. Too much body strength for Farrant. Ball comes out here. Thornton. Left hand bounce. Chris Eddy. There's 1, 2. Goes wide. That's out of bounds on the fall. So Seen will get this kick. The ex-Launceston player. He's good footy, this bloke, I tell you. Really is quite skillful. Best on ground, the grand final last year from memory. Does that sound about right, Louis? Aaron Seen, I reckon he was the BOG.
You are correct there, David.
Thank you. I'll have to say that once again today. I kept up laughing with that last week. Clayton, away he goes. Falls over at the wrong time. Another slip, Lucas Holmes. Perhaps the surface, very perceptive loose. Perhaps that surface is a bit slippery. Gray stands underneath one very courageously. Benetti, three-quarter wedge. Punched out, very disciplined. Cade Triffett, but they're away. Oh, that's a good kick. Can they get a result? No, but they'll get a throw in front of Ryan. They couldn't quite hit Jaden on the fly. So, Lucas, 7.5 gone. Newcastle City comfortably in front at the moment, and Nelson may need an answer.
All right, there's a tactical switch there. Jaden Reimer going forward.
And Price. So that's what McGrath likes to do, is as in that extraordinary semi-final last year. Price and Reimer loves one of them in the forwards and one of them on the ball at all times. It's a pretty good tactic, really. Gibson gets that one out, does the Hamilton Wickham cricketer. Oh, Barton, chance! Billy! Now, that's touched, I think. It was called touch. It went straight through the middle, but that's a point. So, smothered off Barton's left boot. Nelson Bay 1-3, Newcastle City 4-1-25. We've gone 18.5 minutes by the time this ball gets kicked in on this magnificent day in the Tamari Peninsula. We will be in a couple of weeks for semi-final day and women's prelim final day, Louis.
We will, getting to that towards the time of the season. Always very enjoyable for everybody. Indeed.
Play on called. Awful kick, really. Price puts his body into Keast. Keast wasn't happy about it. Oh, that was almost over the shoulder. Luke Price at the back. Goes backwards. Grace hands let him down. Gone. Great tackle, Gibson. Yeah, superb Gibson. Really disciplined, mate. Put a good tackle on Grace. And away we go. So the left-footed Gibson. Good cricketer, Lucas, this bloke too. Handy footballer. That's a shocking kick. Is it out of bounds on the full?
Just managed to scrape it in under the hands of Pat Gillingham.
Yeah. And we hope that Pat's sister Audrey gets back to football shortly for Newcastle City's run line. Now, there's that mouth. Yeah, that's dissent because they thought that ball was out of bounds on the full. And Lally said, enough of that, don't back Chatney. And he's taken the kick off him. So kick to Patrick Gillingham. Short. Intercepted, one-handed Farrant. Lovely hand skill with his non-dominant hand. Goes long and low. Actually, it's an ordinary kick again. A couple of worm burners this quarter, Louis. Ball comes out. Rawnsley and Baker in and thereabouts. This is Rawnsley on ground level. Could have been pushed in the back. Out towards Gibson and Black. Lovely tackle made. Really good. Gibson dragged out of that. Sorry, no. It wasn't Gibson. It's Harry Keast. And he's been paid a free kick for holding the man without the football, Lucas Holmes.
Spot on there, David.
Lovely spot. Finds Liam Dwyer away on that wing. Dwyer looks up, finds Crawford. Payne's running for him. All options short and not running very hard. Push out made by Van Huistede. Must have been called a play on because he played on immediately when he would have normally had a shot. Scene's in there. If he gets in his left, look out. Handball out. Trying to get a handball out. Making an attempt. And umpire Parsons says that'll be mine because he had no prior. 20 and a half minutes gone. Newcastle City 4-1 with goals 2. Enright 3 of them and Quinlan 1. And Nelson Bay's only goal kicker, Snowy Clayton. Ball comes out of bounds. Now, I think that hit the boundary, the behind post on the bounce, which I mean a throw in. You're correct, David. Thank you, Lucas. Ventriloquist that again. Ventriloquist act again. Now, who's up? Who's actually called up? Must have been Luke. No, I couldn't see anyone from. Now, kick comes out. Quinlan's in front. Couldn't quite that. No, that's actually Quinlan now. Gets that ball off. And Huistede with the left. Up in the hot spot. Oh, good grab. Very good, clever football by Gillingham, reading that kick. And Pat Gillingham's going to take a kick in the square to put on Newcastle City's 5th goal. And he's in great goal-kicking form, Louis, after kicking 6 in a match-winning display for the Blues last week under lights at Newcastle No. 1 Sports Ground.
Sure did.
Gillingham puts that up into the Daintree rainforest. So, Newcastle City 5-1-31, Nelson Bay 139, LJ.
Pullman Magenta Shores Resort. Pullman Magenta Shores Resort is an exceptional 5-star resort set on 52 acres on the New South Wales Central Coast. Nestled between the pristine waters of the Pacific Ocean, Tuggerah Lakes and surrounded by National Park, this resort offers guests everything. Impeccable service, amazing on-site facilities, sophisticated dining options, modern villa-style accommodation and spectacular event spaces. Also proud BDAFL charity partner.
It's a great spot. Magenta Shores, I'll tell you what, when the wind blows on that golf course, Lucas, links course, it's like watching golf at Royal Birkdale or St Andrews. It howls.
Yeah, we just saw at the bottom of the screen there, we touched on Connor Hazel is actually running water. You said before the game, just a slight hamstring injury. He's out there running water, so that's a good sign for Newcastle City.
I wouldn't be letting a blue chip player like him run water when he's got a slight hammy, but that's not my decision, is it? Okay, Payne's in there. He's got to stay on his feet. Does. Good tackle, Duval. No prior. Ball comes out, actually. Durbridge. Out wide here. Thompson. Got to stay on his feet. Gets a little handball. That's all legit. Real big effort being put on by Ben Eddy, and he wins that contest very well with body strength, Lucas, and propels the ball at 45 metres forward. Good result, Nelson Bay, really under tight quarters.
Was just too strong there for the young player. Hamish Thompson kicked 5 goals in a lower grade game last week. David, did Hamish Thompson?
Thank you. 5. Kalman, left-handed. Again, another tap. Grinya ducks his head. Tries to find a man. There's Triffett. Ball comes out. That was Blanchfield. Oh,
throw.
Great trick, Todd Thornton, but he gets big for it. The old tunnel ball. Duval holds the ball as long as he can professionally. Gives it back correctly. Thompson. Have to be a great half volley to pick that up and stay on your feet. And out of bounds off a ricochet. So almost getting right to the end of the quarter, Newcastle City really steadied after. Nelson Bay really came out of the blocks, Lucas Holmes, I thought.
They did. They had about the first 3 or 4 inside 50s at that stage, David.
They did. Kalman, lovely tap out. Beautiful, very well rove Thompson. Not much time left this quarter. Can Newcastle City kick another one? Crawford, who's dangerous. Oh, lovely tackle. Superb. Right around the hips. From the blue chip, Luke Price. Excellent tackle. Shut that play down immediately. This should be Cam Keast and Luke Price in this contest. I know Keast is nominated. And the ball comes. No, in fact, it was Mudd. Seen off his non-dominant. Oh, Quinlan! We spoke about that a minute ago, a late goal. And Quinlan in the right place off a low sort of scudding kick with Lucas Holmes, and that is in front.
Sure was very good body positioning there by the youngster Max Quinlan.
Certainly seems to have he's changed his body shape this year, Lucas. It looks like he's quite a bit fitter to me and really worked on his body, which is good to see. Quinlan, great view on our Bar TV pictures. Squeezes that in right. So Quinlan's second. It's now a very good first quarter for Newcastle City. Newcastle City 6 goals, 137. Nelson Bay 139. Lucas Holmes.
ISC has been at the cutting edge of design and manufacturing apparel for elite sporting teams for over 20 years and are proud to be the official apparel partner of the Black Diamond AFL.
Quinlan didn't quite flush it, but kept it inside that right post. So great result now. Newcastle City 28 points in front and flying. And Nelson Bay seemingly without answer at the moment. They're not playing, to be quite honest with you, overly impressive football in the last 5 quarters we've seen them, Lucas Holmes, without being nasty. I think that's just a fair observation. Kalman, out that ball comes, seen, trying to get the football out. Reimer has the football, handballs off. Clayton, wide to Matthew. Matthew marks that ball at centre wing. Matthew Jews with the football. Goes long. Big pack fly. Louis roving beautifully. Jeremy Eddie is dangerous in here. And despite the fact that he did pick the ball up, we have the end of the quarter, as you can tell by the foghorn behind us. Newcastle City, 6 goals, 137. Nelson Bay, 139. Lucas Holmes, goal kickers for City, please.
Goal kickers for Newcastle City. 3 goals to Matt Enright, 2 goals for Max Quinlan, and then 1 for Pat Gillingham.
Aaron Clayton, the solitary goal for Nelson Bay. Newcastle City started off a bit slowly, but have just started. They've picked up where they've gone off in the last few weeks, going along very nicely. Nelson Bay will have a very interesting quarter-time huddle to go and address some issues. They just aren't manning up, and they're getting smashed across half-back. They really can't get the ball past the arc. Lucas Holmes.
Summed that up there perfectly, David.
Thank you, sir. We'll have a quarter-time break with Newcastle City up by 28 points here in the Hunter Haval Black Diamond Cup Round 16 fixture. David Redden with Lucas Holmes. Back with you shortly.
It's a surprise when you open the door. When you open your eyes, a little smiler turns my whole world inside out. Little touch and I'm yours. Tell me you can be mine. It's like I'm dreaming you're the one I'm
The Haval H2. From just $23,990 drive away. Every drive is a surprise.
every day.
Have it all.
Ooh.
Welcome back to Dick Burwell Oval and Nelson Bay. First of all, a couple of scores for you. Terrigal Avoca are playing Killarney Vale, and Killarney, that's at Hilton Moore. Early on, Killarney Vale up 2-1, 13-0. Lucas, bit of a surprise.
It would be Warners Bay.
I beg your pardon.
Dave.
I've got that. I've actually got those in the wrong order in our sheet, so that's
Okay,
my
yep.
bad. And actually, that's last week's scores. I'll tell you that's why. That's why I'm a bit confused. I've picked up the wrong sheet. I know I've got this right. So just bear with me. So certainly the scores here are Cardiff are over at halftime are over Killarney Vale 10-5-65 to 3-2-20. And Warners Bay up early with goals to Gibbs and Corey Deverill 2-1, 13-0. And Newcastle City up by 28 here. So I've got the wrong sheet. That's why it's out. Now, next week we were talking some big games next week. We're at Adelaide Shire Oval for the massive day for Killarney Vale and Warners Bay. And Newcastle City play Terrigal Avoca. Wow.
That with Webster back as well, it'll be a very intriguing contest, as it always is.
Yeah, you love that word, intriguing, but that would be, yes. Certainly with us calling it Adelaide Street, I would love to have actually had a chance to watch that, but be a very exciting day there. And a massive day for Killarney Vale next week. Triple premiership reunion, 87 to 97, 2000. There might be some stories told.
There'll be three very, very good games of football as well, with the women's game holding huge permutations for the final six.
With Warners Bay and Killarney Vale, that's exactly right. And two very good in the reserve, outstanding sides in reserve grade.
2 versus 3 reserve grade, David.
Wow. And away we go here. Newcastle City comfortably in front of Nelson Bay. Round 16 action of the Hunter Haval Black Diamond Cup. Tap out by Barton. Seen roving well. Left-hand handball comes out. Now that's Matthew. That little right foot of his goes to Clayton. He's in front. Oh, great tackle under desperation, Rawnsley. Little ball comes out. Jeremy Eddy, very creative. And I reckon that's Matthew Jews who's run down from the forward flank he has. Now he's going to be put around on a significantly tighter angle by Pat Lally.
Tried to sneak around a few metres there.
Well, he's a rover. They all do that. You know what rovers are like.
Yep.
Almost as bad as left-handers. Rovers, fair dinkum. Cheeky little people they are. Matthew, near side. Bit of a shank, and that's a point. Nelson Bay 1-4-10. Newcastle City 6-1-37. And Cardiff doing the business there over Killarney Vale. And Warners Bay, a lovely start at Hilton Moore Oval. So very interesting. But, yeah, next Saturday's got all sorts of, lots of things happening. It's the critical time of the season in all grades, isn't it?
Sure is.
Straight down the spine. I noted Hawthorn did that quite a lot last night to Sydney. Great mark, Jay Reimer. Smothered off Grinier's boot. Trying to get that ball out. Clayton's there. Reimer. Handball out. Grace is there, as is Matthew Jews. Luxor Fortune standing in front. Duval in the right spot at the right time. So the skipper's got a chance to get Nelson Bay within 21 points of Newcastle City. Lucas Holmes.
He does, and we just saw Jaden Reimer there with a few disposals, moving a lot freer than he did in those last few quarters at Warners Bay last week.
Was telling me before the game, ankle that he did 2 weeks ago, and he's come right this week. Duval really should put this through. He's an experienced player. Oh, post. Nelson Bay 1-5-11. Newcastle City 6-1-37. Nelson Bay again starting this quarter off quite well. Lucas Holmes in the first 2 minutes.
They are just failing to capitalise on some possession with some scoreboard pressure, David.
That was a very brave kick to Batten. Picked off. Batten gets that ball out. Tries to go defensive with the punch. A lot of pressure being put on here by the Marlins. Obviously had a bit of a chat at quarter time. Matthew for the third or fourth time this quarter. Handball comes out. Over there is Gibson. Durbridge goes wide. Clears the play. Well read by Ericsson. Got to stay on their feet. Doesn't. Now he's got to get rid of it. Eventually gets rid of the football. Grenier at the back. Grace needs to have better hands than that. Eventually picks it up. Gives it long. Batten will chest mark that. So Batten, good player. Rotates through the middle as part of their midfield group. Goes backwards. Goes straight down the centre. Brave kick. Man in front. Luke? No, it's not. Ericsson. Lucas, I'll get you to half-time to go and check whose number 80 is for Newcastle City, please.
Sure thing, David.
Thank you. Thornton out to the forward flank on his own. Shouldn't be left there unattended. Reimer's at centre forward. He's going to go square. Oh, picked off beautifully by Durbridge. Raking left foot kicks up. Beauty. Great spot. Crawford should have marked it now. He may put on speed on Grace. Well done, Grace, to corral him. And give Grace a real pat in the back there. He has stopped Crawford stepping him and got an out-of-bounds free kick for David Wood. So well done, Grace. Wood. Right at the back near the hammer cage. Short. Seen at the back. Put off by his own teammate. Durbridge finds Seen. He's on his left side, but he can't pick the ball up. Nelson Bay come in there in numbers. The handball out to Billy Barton. Not a perfect handball. Back to Barton. He's perfect. Well, great one too, Nelson Bay. Barton. Oh, picked off beautifully by Bart Rawnsley. Comes squared looking for. Oh, that's lovely play. Goes down the line, O'Malley. Now, they've got the run here. Enright's in here, but picked off by... Now, is that going to stay in bounds? It is. Great work, Ben Eddy. Good body strength. He's a big brute out of bounds. Both the player and the ball went out of bounds, and in our game, that's out. So, we have Kelman. Not sure who's coming into this. We have Barton's coming in at the back here now. Ryman sitting right behind this ruck contest and gets the football. Dragged off him. Barton, handball out. Lots of pressure here from Newcastle City. Batten. Handballs that forward into the 50. Ericsson and Enright. Good bump by Wood. Good legitimate bump. Oh, great tackle, Wood. Still good body strength. Seen on his left. Oh, Postar. Thought he was going to finish that one off. So Newcastle City 6-2, Lucas. Nelson Bay 1-5. Errant shooting by the Bay. City going well.
They are. Almost bend around enough. That last shot from Aaron Seen. Just not enough. Chris Eddy plays on.
Gets the ball to the 50. Gillingham at the back. Cook tackled immediately by Barton. No prior. Good tackle, Barton. So Kalman, who's got about 3 or 4 inches on Barton. Barton and gets the wall, Kalman does. Reimer, little hurried handball. Needs to get that handball out. Does. This is dangerous. That's Crawford. Hot spots it. Keast in front. Oh, what a great mark, Chris Eddy. Superb judgment at the back. I thought that was Keast all over, and he's got his body in the right spot.
We just saw then shielding the sun from his eyes as well, so very good mark there from Chris Eddy.
David Wood's going to go across goals. Has he spotted someone? He has. And keeps it in. Does Farrant. In fact, no, he doesn't. Good. That's gone into the forest. We've got an out-of-bounds free kick only about... Gee, that's only 30 metres out. So, actually, this player over here who's walking away should have that kick. Gibson goes short. Lovely spot, Gibson. Classy. And he's found Hamish Thompson, another one of the Brigade at Newcastle City, as Quinn looks to be coming off for a slight spell. So Thompson on a decent angle, but you would expect a good footballer to finish here. So Thompson, let's have a look at him go through this. The umpire moves to his side. I think that flicked the post, and it's a behind. So 6-3-39 Newcastle City. Nelson Bay 1-5-11 after 6.5 minutes. Lucas J. Holmes.
Almost identical the start from these two quarters from both sides. Nelson Bay getting on top early and then Newcastle City working their way back into the contest.
Newcastle City, as they so often do, have gone to their zone defence from the kick-out, Lucas. So look for a short option here for them to get out of it. Grace is sitting to his left, Eddie, but he's going to go long. Comes down this Combonk's flank. Looking for him, hitting Thornton, but he couldn't quite take the mark. Good result there for Nelson Bay. Out past half-back flank. And we've gone 7 minutes in this quarter. Newcastle City, comfortable enough at the moment, 28 points in front.
Is no goals yet in this quarter, David.
Thank you, Louis. Comes out, lovely handball. Now, if that's Crawford, it's danger. No, that's not. That's Dwyer. It's a hot spot. Now, can Keast get in front here? No, he can't. Caught out of position a couple of times. Well done, Chris Eddy. Gee, they missed him last week. Takes a bounce. Keast just gets him. Oh, good mark, Ericsson under pressure. Out near the hammer cage. Little short 30-metre kick is perfect and finds mud. Cowman on the mark, looking like a large praying mantis. Man in front doesn't quite get that one. Good interference by Nelson Bay. Coming out is Baker at the back. Needs that to be perfect. He's to Enright. Needs to let him go. Get onto his left, he will, and go. Short pass. Just goes over Van Huysteed. Farrant's labouring, chasing this. Van Huysteed puts the pace on. Keister's labouring as well. Chris Eddy's got him at ground level. However, that's not a good kick, and he's picked off by Gibson, who'll come back round on his left. Low and direct. Van Huysten now at the back's Keast. Gets a chance to needs to get in the game, Keast. He's hardly got a touch so far, despite the fact that City have kicked 6, Louis.
Yeah, it's a fair-sized forward line from Newcastle City with Keast, Quinlan and Van Huysten up forward, David.
Van Huysten will be very happy with you calling him a big lad there, Lucas Hames. He's still growing, he's right. That good ball comes out. And a behind. So another behind to City, who are 6-1 and are now 6-4. 6-4-40, 1-5-11. Almost 9 minutes gone. John Sullivan signals are behind. And Chris Eddy, now let's see how he manages this. Does he play on? Does he go short? Looking at his options, sucking in a few breaths. Going to go long, Comblok's flag. Looking for Reimer, couldn't quite grab him. Out the ball comes, lovely work here. Hands come out, it's Batten. Oh, average kick, didn't even go 15. Oh, lovely pluck, Rawnsley. Geez, good player. Squares it, finds Payne. Gibson, no, not going Gibson. Goes Triffett. Oh, luck's a fortune. That ball was meant for Enright. And coming in behind on the loop, I think is Durbridge. Just waiting for him to turn around. It is. So Ethan Durbridge sitting out there in the right place at the right time off an errant pass. He'll take this kick, Lucas, probably only 35 out. And they've had a lot of footballers in this quarter. He needs to kick the goal. Durbridge, what's he done? And misses near side. Newcastle City 6-5-41. Nelson Bay 1-5-11. An even 5 goals of difference. LJ?
Both of us just struggling to get some goals on the board, which I find us on a bit hard because there's not a breath of breeze out there by the looks of it, David.
Correct. It's a lovely day. Chris Eddy plays on and finds Luke Price with a lovely 1 grab mark. Immediately plays on, looking for his partner in crime, Jaden Reimer. Jaden's other half had a blinder this morning, Sophie Balcom. She was outstanding, Lucas. She was just superb. Jeremy Eddy tapping that ball in front. They won't let him get that ball in. Well done there by Baker. Ball comes out. City under pressure. See how they work through it. All being very smart with their tackling and care here. Pat Lally says, mine. Apologies to Sophie. I've been calling her Balcom for 18 months. She quietly pulled me aside and said my last name's pronounced Balcom. So I'll be getting that right for now. And I do apologise to Sophie and her family for that. My bad. It's Sophie Balcom is definitely her name, and we thank Sophie for letting us know that. Pat Lally says that's mine again with black on the bottom of that pack. 11 minutes gone here in the Hunter Haval Black Diamond Cup Bar TV match of the round. Kalman. Oh, beautifully roved Reimer, and it's out of bounds on the full. So that will be a kick 2, or was it touched, Lucas?
Looks like it was touched because boundary umpire Myers McCauley signalled it was out of bounds.
Thank you. I just assumed it was out of bounds of the full because it hit 3/4 the way up. Okay, so ruck contest. Kalman, very well done there by Mudd, actually. Used his body well. Triffett, trying to be careful, gets the ball out. So it's very tight up there at the moment. A lot of plays around the ball. Newcastle City got a man up, and they cannot be left behind with these quick kicks that are coming out. Kalman and Mudd. McCauley throws it in. Left-handed Kalman. Little short kick comes out. Almost picked up by Pritchett. Now whistle blown, and has advantage been paid? Away they go. Lovely rider. Good speed. Enright looking for a 1-2. What superb football. Now, hang on.
He was upended after disposal, so it's advantage.
Is it advantage? It's advantage here. Oh, what good football. Talk about Pagan's paddock. Terrific football, Newcastle City, and not a surprise to see the very skillful Jackson Crawford. Looking forward for a replay here. That's great football into an open area. Lucas Holmes.
That's what that whistle was for. Dave, the play giving the disposal was upended after his disposal of the football, so it was advantage. Play on.
Thank you. Here we go. There it is. Yes, so Enright on the corner. This player number 8, who we'll get for you later on. Lovely long kick, Jackson Crawford. And he's the bloke you want running right to left. Cross his body. Lovely kick. And City are now 6 goals in front, and this looks dangerous. It's Jake Hartikainen, is it? Wow, thank you. He's not on our list. Appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Number 8's the great Jake Hartikainen, who, goodness gracious me, what an in, Lucas Holmes.
It's a very good in, isn't it, David?
Mate. So Jake's out there. Wonderful to see. He's had lots of problems with a serious ankle injury. Wonderful to see him out there for City. Keast into the ruck to get him some ball. Going straight through was Price. Oh, great hand. Superb handball out. Can someone take a mark? No. Good punch out. Clayton, danger. Lovely little handball. Scoop throw to, and a called, I think. And the umpire's got that. I saw it as a scoop throw, and Pat Lally was in perfect position, Lucas.
Sure was.
Oh, that's
David.
a shocking kick. Jeremy Eddy might make them pay here. No. Thornton, will he make them pay for a terrible mistake? Disappointing result, really. 1-6 Nelson Bay, 7-5 City. So Jake Harder-Kinan's back on the side. Help me, Rhonda.
It just keeps getting better and better, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. Great, going to be a wonderful Black Diamond Cup final series, Lucas. It really is. Cannot wait to call it with you, mate.
Most sides peaking at the right time now as well,
Oh,
David.
yes. Cardiff have got to keep going. They can't stop now. Little short kick comes out. Batten marks. That's a big test for them against Terrigal at Hillsborough in the last game of the season, Louis. Be a ripper. Handball comes out. No, he doesn't. Harder-Kinen out to Enright, who's on his left. Goes backwards. Baker. Smothered beautifully. Good football, Nelson Bay. Bit of mucking around there from Newcastle City, and they're made to pay as such. Over at the shot put cage. So umpire Macaulay's got this football, number 54 on your screen. Keith's gone onto the ball to get him in some action. Gets the ball out double-handed. Out comes to Price. Quick kick. Who's under it? Oh, push out, I thought. What a good mark, Jaden Reimer. Jason, I'm an idiot. Jaden Reimer. Good use of his body. Interesting to... could have been considered pushing the back. Reimer's gone to Thornton. Better angle. Thornton should finish. And does. Good goal. Todd Thornton off an excellent mark from the Elliott Davey medalist Jaden Reimer. Nelson Bay 2-6-18. Newcastle City 7-5-47. 29 points of difference. Lucas Holmes.
Prime 7 in 2017. Prime 7 has every big game live and free. Coverage includes 4 games every round on 7 Mate, including Friday and Saturday night and Sunday afternoons. Black Diamond AFL and Prime 7, your local AFL team.
Professional finish from Thornton, who's got a very significant graze on his right leg, and that might be an indication that you would ask me earlier on if the ground's a bit hard. That's a big, if you look at the right leg of Thornton, he's got a big graze going angrily across him, so big graze.
He'd be right up there in their best and fairest this year, Tom Thornton for Nelson Bay.
I would think with a couple of injuries late, he'd be leading along with Reimer.
Yeah.
That ball comes, great tap out Keast. Blanchfield at ground level, can he pick the football up? Does. Payne in there, so is Durbridge, so is Grace. Barton, Payne at the bottom's got to get it out. Seen, left-hand handball comes out. Billy Barton gets the result of that. Puts the ball into pasture. Reimer's on his own. Harder-Kinen, a good backman. Good tackle, Reimer.
It's higher in the back.
Free kick, certainly.
High.
Thank you. Bad call from Redden. Illegal tackle. Jake Harder-Kinen. Ball comes out, Van Huisteed. Left-hand handball, and there's another ball. Waybo goes, may take a bounce, doesn't Crawford. Goes long. For a beautiful spot to Enright, flying into the forward line. And Enright, if he takes the kick's got a chance at 4 goals in the first half. Doesn't. Unselfish, gives off. Finds Quinlan, who'll try and get round on his right. Got a turning circle at the Queen Mary. Enright flying back. Can he kick 4? Goodness me, Matthew Enright, what form he's in. 4 goals in the first quarter. And just waiting for a score to come up from a man Louis here. 8-5-53 Newcastle City. Nelson Bay, a bit forlorn. 2-6-18. LJ.
Star 104.5 FM. Star 104.5 plays the music we all love and has proudly supported the Black Diamond AFL since their inception in 2005.
Wow, what a quarter, what a half by Enright. 4 goals. If you'd given odds of Enright kicking 4 in the first half, it would have been prohibitive. Really good football, Newcastle City. And there's Enright on your screen. What a quarter he's had. And I see that looks like Chris Eddy's gone on to him now. That's an interesting move for a guy who's been playing fullback. So in front of us is Tom Wood and Durbridge on the wing. There's Patrick Lally. And away he goes. Throws that ball up. Keast. Barton over the top. Seen onto his left. Dangerous. Brings that ball around. Now Enright's leading it. It's actually Ben Eddy is on, not Chris. Corrals him. Crawford. Too quick. Can he hit someone? Oh, a touch. Called by the umpire here. That was touched. So Blanchfield's there. Running around. Gillingham! Oh, no, misses. I thought he kicked that by the way John Sullivan had moved. 8-6-54 City. Nelson Bay 2-6-18. 18.5 gone. LJ.
It's really starting to become one-way traffic at this stage, isn't it, David? Chris Eddy goes to himself, goes long.
And marked by L. Price. Keys got to get rid of it. In trouble. Gee, that must have been close to holding the football, Patrick. Out that ball comes Gillingham. Off to Scene on his non-dominant. Lovely spot to Van Huistude from Scene off his right foot. And Ryan's got a chance at kicking Newcastle City's 9th goal, Lucas Holmes.
He sure does. Fairly big, long ground here at Dick Bell Oval. Be a very good kick to see him get the distance, which he should, though. However, Reed Van Hoesteed.
Not quite as long as Fayen. Fayen's got a bit more distance between the arc and the 50-metre square there, Louis. Van Hoesteed. Low to the side, I think. Yeah, near side. Newcastle City's only problem this quarter has been errant shooting. 8-7-55. Nelson Bay 2-6. Newcastle City go into the zone. Nelson Bay have got a bit of a huddle working. Lucas?
Shouldn't be as long a quarter, only 3 goals kicked compared to, 7 or 8 in the first quarter, David?
Yes, mate. Zone defence. Now, Grace is out here on his own to the right. Clayton's out in front of us. Eddie goes to himself and goes straight down the spine with some sort of spiral bomb. Price, good tackle from O'Malley. Price is wounded after that. That's interesting. Luke, keep an eye on Luke. He's hurt back here. Ball comes out. Left-hand handball is interesting from Black. Gets it out. Good step. Bet you that was Jay Crawford. Grace comes in very courageous. Quinlan, handball out. Can someone get a decent football in here? No, it's going to be kept in. This will be a ball up. Now, is Luke Price okay?
Just jogging back to his position a bit towards the centre square. What?
Nothing serious. I just went down left, and I thought it was like a left arm or a left side of his ribs. Good tap out. However, not picked up. Grace is in trouble. Not paid. Gibson. Grinya's got some room. That's dangerous. 1 bounce. 2 bounces. Oh, steps his man with a touch of arrogance. Good to see. Grinya gets the 1-2. Good football, Grinya, but can't finish. Beautifully read Harder-Kynan. And he's away, Durbridge, if he can get this football clean. Oh, good pressure put on by Thornton. Durbridge, backwards handball. Triffett. Lovely spot to Quinlan. Van Huisteed. Good hands from Ryan in front of Ben Eddy. Reed, I do beg your pardon. That's my bad. I'll get that right eventually. Got to get these names right, David. Reed Van Huisteed, picked off by Tyson Ferrant, Lucas. I'll get that name right. And now that's Chris Eddy. Actually, that's Jeremy. To Benny's twin. Left foot, good kick. Oh, well picked up. Reimer's got sticky hands today, Lucas Holmes. Driving kick comes out. It's a 1-on-1. What a lovely mark at the back. And that was Harry Keys. Lovely pickup. Average kick, read by Green. Oh, O'Malley gets a room service bounce and sets Scene away. This is dangerous. He'll step his man. It's on his non-dominant, has a bounce, gets a handball away. Batten's got time and space. Goes backwards, finds Triffett in the centre circle. Goes 3/4 wedge, one-handed mark Durbridge, just in front of centre-half forward. Thornton gets out of the way. Barton on the mark. Durbridge left-footed. One-handed only. Now, what can be done from him? He couldn't kick that short. Oh, hang on. Point. Goodness me, that would have been an extraordinary goal. Newcastle City, 8 goals, 8, and they were 6 goals, 1, Lucas Holmes, if my memory serves correctly. Newcastle City in front by 38, and Nelson Bay really struggling to hold the tide.
They are. They just saw when they turned it over, it came straight back through the corridor from Newcastle City. That in-ball from Stephen Batten was superb, just to steady the tempo down a bit.
Expert comments from Lucas Holmes, ladies and gentlemen. Ball drops short. Almost a mark taken by Patrick Gillingham. Payne doesn't quite get served by the bounce. Ben Eddy, left-footed. That's going to go out, I'd suggest. You wouldn't believe it stayed in. Unbelievable. Harder-Kynan, dangerous. Durbridge had that spent before he picked it up. Grace, Jeremy Eddy running. That ball's gone out. Lovely pictures on our Bar TV cameras there. Perfect illustration. Jeremy was running along, but the ball did actually go out of bounds. Harder-Kynan has a spell. 23 minutes gone. Can't be long left. How long left, guys, please? Thank you. 60 seconds from our timekeepers. Thank you, gentlemen. Doing a great job. Along with our Bar TV crew of Liam, Justin and Finn. Guys, great to work with you as always. Last short kick comes up. Should have been taken by Reed. Now, left foot kick comes out. And Van Huystert's keeping on going. Good bump end right. Went the man to the ball. Yes, can't be paid over the shoulder, Louis. Can it?
No.
Thornton. Rebounding here. Good call. The vast experienced Baker. Left-footed, goes short, finds his man. He's got to hold up now, Triffett. Handball. Batten's running unloaded and untended. That is dangerous. One man up. Good call there by Pat Gillingham. Kept Dwyer over it. Gillingham goes short. Can he find someone? No, just goes under that to Gibson. Rovers needed. Got to get rid of it. The ball comes out. Out comes to Blanchfield. That's Jackson Crawford, I reckon. And as is quite often the case, a superb finish by this very, very skillful player. Newcastle City really putting the foot down. 9-8-62. Nelson Bay 2-6-18. Lucas Holmes.
Bar TV Sports. Bar TV Sports specialise in the live streaming and broadcasting of local sport, including the Black Diamond AFL. Bar TV Sports, making your game the main game.
Quality finish from a quality small forward, Lucas Holmes. One of the best small forwards in the competition, in my opinion.
It's Cade Triffett by the looks of that,
David. My bad, is it? I do apologise to everybody. I thought that was Crawford for sure. So we'll correct that. Lovely goal, Cade Triffett, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Lucas. Sorry to everybody. Kalman, and there's Foghorn in the background. Apologies for that late error. So Newcastle City 9-8-62. Nelson Bay 2-6-18. Matthew Enright, 4 goals. Max Quinlan, 2. Pat Gillingham, Jackson Crawford, and Cade Triffett, 1. Lucas Holmes. Goals to Nelson Bay, please, mate.
Nelson Bay goals, Todd Thornton and Aaron Clayton.
Called by our expert commentator, Lucas Holmes. It was one-way traffic in that second quarter, wasn't it, mate?
It was. Could be a lot worse, though, for Nelson Bay. Just a few periods of errant shooting there from Newcastle City. They were 6 goals, 1 at quarter time. So it was that 3 goals, 7 in that second quarter, David.
Indeed, Lucas. Look, Nelson Bay really got some serious soldiers. This is just about their best side they can put on the paddock, and they're getting a bit of a touch-up at the moment. It's 44 points of difference. Okay, so comments from Lucas Holmes. David Redden here with you at the Hunter Vale Black Diamond Cup Bar TV Match of the Round. Nelson Bay, Newcastle City. It's half-time. The score on your screen, 9-8-2-6. We'll be back with you after a 5 or 10 minute break to come back for the third quarter here at Dick Burwell Oval.
It's a surprise when you open the door. When you open your eyes, a little smile that turns my whole world inside out. Little touch and I'm yours. Tell me you can be mine. It's like I'm dreaming you're the one I'm
The Haval H2. From just $23,990 drive away. Every drive is a surprise.
every day.
Have it all.
just about ready to go here after the long break. After a sensational feed, Lucas Holmes, from the lovely ladies of the Nelson Bay Football Club. Chicken burgers, salad rolls, chippies, water, soft drinks, coffee. I've got a black coffee here next to me. So what a superb spread, Louis.
It is always good coming up here to the Nelson Bay Football Club. Always take care of us and everybody here.
And I'd like to thank Roger Price and all the team for looking after us so well every week, Lucas, that every time we come here. It's a great place to come. So Pat Lally's just waiting to get everything moving here. Newcastle City are 44 points in front and seemingly in control here. Cardiff have well on the way to victory here, so Cardiff will remain a game in front, Lucas, in the ladder. And a massive game for City next week once they've got this one done. The old arch enemy, Newcastle City and Terry Oliver.
With both sides hopefully back to full strength as well, David.
Yes,
Barring-
Richardson hasn't played in weeks, and I'm not sure if he's going to play again.
Barring Mitch Knight, that is.
Barring Mitch Knight. Away we go. Third quarter. Even money, that tap out. Durbridge comes through like a steam train, picks it up right-handed. Sitting at the back, as he always does, is Thornton. Gee's been good this year, Lucas. Duval's gone back. That's interesting. Duval's gone back. Grenier onto the wing. Turns strangely inside. Goes long. O'Malley, what a contest with Wood. Tunnel ball, that's a throw. That's ball's gone out. Not paid. Dwyer, Grenier, ducked his head. Good tackle, O'Malley. Wow, someone's got hit in the head here. Is that Quinlan? It is. Correct, David. Thanks, Lucas.
Would have helped when I went to speak and I held the microphone up to your mouth, David.
Lucas Holmes, ladies and gentlemen, he's our guru. Out that ball comes Blanchfield. Oh, Enright, he couldn't kick 5. Got a chance here. Oh, shanks it. Got the commentators, Moz. Into the Daintree. So, yeah, no microphone up. That was useful, Lucas Holmes.
Very well done by myself.
There's our communications graduate from CSU in 4 years' time, ladies and gentlemen. On a serious note, we'll miss you next year, mate, when you're up there studying. It won't be quite the same coming to footy without you, but we all wish you luck with your studies. I'm sure you'll kill it up there.
Thank you very much, David.
Jaden Reimer in the back pocket. Combox flank. Long kick. Almost to Mark Wood. Gibson taps that ball back. Handball comes out. Jeremy drops what he otherwise might have taken. David Wood got the sideshow Mel haircut, and that goes out of bounds on the full, I think. Correct? Umpire Macaulay right on the job. So right in front of our cameraman, Finn. Hello, Finn. How are you down there, mate? Durbridge, short pass. Goes reasonably square. Looking for Enright to try. Oh, that's what you want to see Cam Kiss do. Crashing packs and skittling blokes left, right and centre like a 10-pin bowl. What superb football, Newcastle City. And all based upon Keast hitting the pack with venom, Lucas Holmes.
It was beautiful delivery from Hamish Thompson to, is that Quinlan or Van Hoostede down there? Was it?
No, I don't think it's either because both of them have got white bike pants on, Lucas.
Okay,
and I don't think this... is it Thompson? I'll just check.
No, it was
Is it Thompson over there, guys, or Blanchfield? Can we tell?
It was Thompson with the delivery, David.
Okay. It is not... Is it Jackson Crawford?
Yes.
Okay, so it was Jackson Crawford. A bit hard to tell from this distance. Early goal, yeah, it is Crawford, definitely the star. On the pocket where he produced some wondrous play about 6 weeks ago. Newcastle City 10-8-68. Nelson Bay 2-6-18. Lucas, we'll just keep going. We'll do the ad read next time, mate.
That's his second goal, Jackson Crawford.
Yeah, 4 Enright, 2 Crawford, 2 Quinlan, 1 Gillingham, 1 Triffett, and then goals to Clayton and Thornton.
Beautiful.
For Nelson Bay. 68-18, it's 50 points. Things looking very grim for Nelson Bay, which they would be disappointed with the amount of ins that they've had today and playing here on their home deck where they're a 4 or 5 goal better side, in my opinion.
And you'd be looking to back up from their disappointing effort last week as well, David.
Got to give credit to your doggies. They were very good last week. Ball comes out. Louis Jews intercepted by Durbridge very well. Gets the ball off to Seniors on his natural foot. Goes wing side. Can someone take a mark? No. Ball go out of bounds. In front of Liam Dwyer. So right on centre wing. Umpire McCullough's got that right next to our camera and Finn. And he's got lovely close-up shots of this one. Kalman Gets it left-handed down, although Barton did very well and recovered to get a touch there. Seen a 5-metre kick. Reimer at the back. Pushes off. Nice fend. Jeremy Eddy just keeps that football in. But a chest mark will be taken back there by Cade Triffett. Seen. It will come back onto his left, I'd imagine. He'll beat Wood. Oh, he doesn't. Draw down David Wood. Rush kick comes out. Cowman can't get bent down. It's the hard one near the size of the Statue of Liberty. Oh, great smother off Triff. And Cowman comes back for more. Jeremy Eddy comes straight through. Durbridge in there. It's frenetic in there. It's pinball action. Ball comes out at the back here. Lots of blokes. Grace has gone down and has been hurt. He's injured. He's got an injured. I'm sure he's got a head wound there. Ball comes out. That's Ben Eddy. Can't quite grab the mark. Harder-Kynan. Superb tackle by Louis, I think. Oh, Matthew. Great. Another great tackle. Now, Grace is struggling back here. He's got up straight away. He's a tough rooster. And there's a free kick, is it? No, I didn't think there was a free kick.
It's called for the ball, the umpire. With that Grace and stuff, either the opposition has just gone a bump and got him a bit high, or is there just a bit of a collision there, David?
Thank you, Lucas. I must admit I was in the corner of my eye. I didn't quite see it. Out that comes from Baker. Oh, that's a ridiculous jump. Not seen. In fact, he didn't interfere with him, so he's pretty much just up down the one spot. Coming out with speed. Lovely work. Now, the creative room here for Quinlan. Can he pick it up? He does. Goes backwards. Look for a familiar voice. Gibson on his left. Smothered. Been a lot of smothers in the last couple of minutes. Oh, good bump. Good football. Gibson again. Gets a handball out despite pressure. 1-on-3 here. Should come out Nelson Bay's way. Goes backwards as Louis. And finds Todd Thornton. Jackson Crawford's on the mark. Actively manning it. He's going to go backwards, I reckon. Touch here for Duval. As I said, Lucas, Duval's gone back. See if they can change a few things up. That's Jeremy Eddy. Goes with and Aaron Seen puts him off balance. At the back there, Harder-Kynan will look for Seen, I reckon. He's on his wrong side. Lovely work by Eddy. Just manages to control that with his left hand. Lincoln McCauley says get rid of it, and he does. An unusual kicking style of his. Not only effective and marked by Sam Payne, centre wing. Lucas Holmes.
Sure is. Just a bit of blazing away, just trying to get the distance, but straight to Sam Payne, who now switches inboard. Finds Enright on his left.
Danger. Oh, lovely pass, Enright. He is so skillful on that left foot. Pat Gillingham. Why he's been called a play on, I don't know. He just ran back to the mark. Puts that ball up. No one can grab a mark. Quinlan stayed at low ground level. Duval's in there. Ball goes out of bounds. So Newcastle City very comfortably in front, and Nelson Bay, to be quite frank, really don't look like scoring at the moment. Lucas Holmes.
No, it was well done there by Tim Duval coming across to spore the ball out of bounds.
Yeah, and copped an accidental knee from Quinlan too in the hip, and he's a bit wounded after it, just quietly. That out to Tommy Wood. That to be Jay Reimer. Great tackle, Quinlan. Erickson, very long ball. Gets that ball 55 metres. Almost marked. It's 1-on-3 here. Gibson off to Baker. Looks inboard and intercepted. Grinya's gone. Away he goes. Gets about 45 metres and kicks it nowhere. Beautifully picked off Rawnsley. Goes wide, finds Seen. Seen will try and get around to his left, I'd imagine. He does that beautifully with the aid of a very clever and subtle shepherd. Oh, they're away now. Nelson Bay couldn't quite stop that ball going through. Keast, and the ball goes through. Just goes over the big fella. They need to deliver it a bit better to Keast, you would think. 10-9-69, 2-6-18. LJ, Chris Eddy with the footy.
Probably not the go to be kicking back towards the goal with the big man. You probably want him leading up.
Good call, Lucas Holmes.
Reimer.
Couldn't quite grab it. Good tackle. That's a throw. What a good effort. Liam Dwyer gets that ball off Triffett. That's dangerous. He's usually precise. And, of course, the commentator's Moz mucks it up, and it goes straight down Todd Thornton's throat at centre-half back. Sideways to Grinya. It's almost a 50-metre, 10-metre infraction. A good mark, Louis Jews. Really good in front of the coach. Now, at the back, who's going to get this crash football? Mudd off to Erickson, who can't grab a sit over a handball. As a result, his kick is sideways. Now, out there is Rawnsley. He'll try and get onto his left. Does so with absolute ease. And easily finds Enright, who's got a paddock. One bounce. Then gets rid of it. 45-metre kick. Looking for the big man, Keast. as called by Lucas Holmes. Get it in front of him, and he's got a free kick, Lucas Holmes. And where was the ball put to him?
It was straight in front, and he goes short again and finds Pat Gillingham.
Unselfish of the big boy, who was certainly entitled inside the 50 to kick that goal. But Gillingham is in such outstanding goal-kicking form of late Lucas Holmes that's the right decision, and it's typical of the unselfish play today from Newcastle City.
It wasn't that free kick for Cam Keith was for a chop of the arms from the defender, not allowing him to get a sufficient grab at the football.
The old Stephen Silvani tactics. Gillingham, 35. Misses to the left. John Sullivan says that's a behind. Newcastle City's only problem today has been errant shooting, 10-10 to 2-6. And this appears to be a very comfortable victory coming forward for Newcastle City, which I'm a bit disappointed with, to be quite honest. I thought Nelson Bay would really go well today. I'm just a bit disappointed. I thought they'd be better today.
It looked that way with the ins that Nelson Bay had and a few significant outs of Newcastle City. You'd think it'd be a bit more even of a contest.
Oh, great grab to Val. Listen, I don't think Luke Price is fully fit. I think that sickness has really knocked him around. He's got some touches today, but he doesn't seem to be playing with his normal. He looks a bit light, too. I think he's lost some weight. He's very trim and lean. I just wonder whether that sickness was a bit worse than what we thought. Grenier, cross centre half back, picked off by Gillingham. Ericsson gets the footy, however. Goes wide. Matthew out there on the wing. Inboard, lovely handball, superb. Grenier. Couldn't quite deliver. There's Price. We're talking about him. That's a throw, not paid. Up and under, goes down towards the wing. Can a mark be taken? Indeed it is by this man, Enright. He's kicked 4 today and had it on a string. Oh, that should be over the shoulder to Aaron Seen. Good effort by Reimer, but just a touch crude. And Seen picks the ball up and goes. Sorry, Lucas.
That's probably, I was just going to say, probably their two best players on the ground, in my opinion, in Enright and Seen, David.
Very close.
No one on the mark.
Goodness me. Off goes Dwyer. Shepherding needed. Yeah, dropped by Chris Eddy. And another point. So Newcastle City 10-11, 71. Just might get that changed there, please, Liam. That should be 10-11, 71, mate. Thank you. And Nelson Bay 2-6-18. 10-11, 71 to 2-6-18. Thank you, mate. That's great. Oh, little candy sold. Shepherd coming in. Thornton corralled. Oh, not paid as 15. That was 15 metres and not paid. So Nelson Bay somehow extricate themselves from that, and we'll have a ball up 5 or 6 metres around for the behind post. LJ.
It's just a bit of a problem there for Nelson Bay trying to get the ball out of their back half. Give away a fairly lot of territory here to Newcastle City to see if they can pay full price for it.
Yes. Thornton. I think he's been their best player this year. Has one bounce. Certainly the games that we've seen. O'Malley. Clayton comes over the top. Superb lace-out handball to Louis. But Louis' pass is not good, and he's beautifully picked off by the vastly experienced Rawnsley, who immediately goes square. They have got so much room down that far flank this afternoon, Lucas, and particularly this quarter. Oh, this is not looking good. Enright's got that football unattended. As Lucas Holmes has a coughing fit in the background. Goes short and gets picked off. Barton gets that ball off to Ericsson. Runs his fair distance. Goes long. 4-man contest. Down as Baker. Tries to stun his feet and eventually gets brought to ground. And our central umpire, Lucas Holmes, rejoins us. Is okay?
Sorry about that, David.
That's all right, mate. As long as you're all right, pal. 53 points of difference to City. 12 and a half minutes gone. Almost 13 minutes gone, actually. Oh, comes over the top and misses it completely. Little short handball comes out. Macaulay O'Malley gets the football. Very strong Mac O'Malley for not a big player. Very strong build. Jeremy Eddy. Now, is he going to have a crack at goal from there with the man at quarterback? There he is. And that's Jake Harder-Kynan. And guess what happens? They're going to go down that far flank again and look to create a loose man. Scene's on his own. Beautiful spot of Scene. Away he goes. Shocking kick. Ends up finding Dwyer. Another ordinary handball to Black. Their skills let him down. Can't quite pick it up, the big boy. Still can't pick it up. Barton's over there. Well done, Billy Barton. Really came in with no chance and got the football. Luke Price gets that ball down to David Wood and Harry Keast. And it's kept in. Keast has got the footy now. Got to get rid of it. Reimer's over there.
High contact. It was a disposal.
Thank you, Lucas Holmes. So, not sure which way that kick's going. He certainly moved his hand either way there. Makes it a bit hard. So, yes, the kick to Harry Keast. Three-quarter wedges it. Almost taken by Reed Van Hustede. Lucas Holmes nodding in the background, saying about time his chief commentator got that right after 37 times making a mistake. As Aaron Seen comes off for a well-deserved rest, he's been a good player today. Just finds room, and he's got so much time, Lucas.
Very good right non-dominant foot as well, Aaron Seen.
For a left footer, my word is it's noticeable. O'Malley, straight through with that big, strong, those strong hips of his, straight through. Duval, similarly, goes straight through. Well done, Dwyer, putting pressure on. They're really disciplined today, City. Look at this, swarming like a pack, and they've got the footy. Out that comes from Blanchfield. Thompson, sorry. Cased! That's just through hard work. Lucas Holmes? Yes, David.
Yes. I thought you were going to keep going on, no?
No, I was quite happy for you to talk, Lee.
Yeah, no.
I get criticised sometimes because I talk too much. I try to get you to talk.
It was actually a very good mark, Cam Keast, out in his hands. It was not a normal kick. It was tumbling in the air as Keast comes in and kicks a goal straight over umpire John Sullivan's head.
And does John Sullivan move?
No, he didn't.
Not. So goal to Cameron Keast. Well commentated by our expert commentator, Lucas Holmes. Newcastle City starting to make this look ugly. 11-11-77. Nelson Bay 2-6-18. LJ.
The entertainment grounds on the Central Coast. The entertainment grounds has quickly established itself as a premier events location on the Central Coast. The entertainment grounds is an indoor and outdoor multi-purpose community facility for functions, events, festivals, weddings, exhibitions, as well as horse racing.
Thank you, Lucas. Cameron Keast is about to become a doctor very shortly, a medical doctor, which is a hugely long degree, and credit to him for sticking out what is a tough course. Oh, that's not a mark. Who's blowing that whistle, please? Someone blew a whistle for some reason, and there was no way that was a mark. Rawnsley goes long. Now, has he got a chance here, Reed Van Hustede? Can he pick it up? They're coming at him from all angles. Farrant's there. Very calm from Van Hustede. O'Malley picks out Adam Grenier, and Grenier goes long. Now, clearly, Lucas, Nelson Bay have gone a spare man in defence again here. Jeremy Eddy will finish.
He doesn't.
Well, he's let me down. I thought he'd hit that with check side and finish it, but he doesn't. 2-7-19. Nelson Bay and Newcastle City 11-11. Judging by how many spare men, we were talking a minute ago about how much room they've got. I would suggest either Duval or Clayton. I just saw Clayton, although Clayton's here now in front of us. Duval's gone back. They may be playing one loose, as they did at Fane Park last week.
Yep.
Fane over last week, I do beg your pardon.
Yep.
Todd Chilton back from Hawaii. He seems to be having a good time on his holiday.
He did. Always great to have the president of the club back.
Indeed. Billy Barton goes straight through. Well done, O'Malley, to hold his ground. Black goes off, gets picked off by Clayton, who couldn't quite grab it. Louis Jews, left-hand handball, comes out to Grenier. Louis Jews goes backwards. Finds a man. Oh, trouble. Trouble now. Can Newcastle City get clean ball? No, they cannot. They all come from everywhere. Someone just said good pressure. That was good pressure both sides. It should be noted that Adam Grenier has just come back from deployment. He's serving our country in the RAF. We thank him and all the other servicemen women who play in the Black Diamond Football League for their service for our country. Lucas, they're great people, and they put themselves on the line for us, so we do give them a big thanks, don't we, mate?
We sure do, and they're very good footballers as well, as you just said. Adam Grenier, absolutely amazing footballer.
McGrath's in the RAF, Aaron Clayton's in the RAF, and there are other men and women in the services, so fantastic job. Your mate Todd Krause as well as a serviceman, so. Off that ball goes. Great disposal by O'Malley. Gee, he did well there. In goes
Clayton.
Baker. And Aaron Seen's waiting to come on right in front of us. So it's a 58-point lead. It's 18 minutes gone. Not many goals again this quarter, Lucas Holmes, so it should be short.
Correct.
Throw-in comes in. Cowman's got the sit and misses completely with a left-handed airy. Luke Price will get a free kick here for holding the man, I would suggest. Looking for a handball is Duval. Price. Low, short, driving pass. Not taken by Reimer. Baker at the back. That ball's gone out. And off the knee, I think. So it's a boundary throw in inside the 50-metre arc in the shadows down there on this magnificent day at Nelson Bay. Really is a glorious afternoon. Ball comes out, held in there. Oh, what comes out to Mudd, looking for Jeremy. He'll do well to kick that goal, I tell you. Goodness me, he went close, just over Reimer's head. Nelson Bay 2-8. Lucas Holmes has got that right. 2-8-20. Newcastle City 11-11. 77. And importantly, this week some rain coming for people in New South Wales. Some of our friends in the bush really need some rain, especially the Cockies. So big rain coming this week, like a couple of inches, which is important, Lucas. This ground will benefit this ground too, I think, Louis. Would you agree?
Yeah, it's just a bit patchy, but always a very good ground up here normally.
Drains very well. That was a superb kick that went inside the square. Trying to come out. Oh, threads the needle. Gets it to Scene, who's going to run away and try and use his left. That's a push out. Not paid to Duval. Now, Crawford's got time. That's dangerous. Just half volleys. Crawford backs up. Can he step his man? Oh, as he did. Oh, he's got up again. What work by Crawford. Don't tell me that's a goal. Oh, goodness gracious me. That would have been superb. Thompson misses. So Newcastle City, if you don't mind, Lucas.
Just hit the post, David.
It hit the post, did it? My apologies. I won't touch your screen there. I thought that went through from behind, so there we go.
Sort of rolling laterally with the goal line. It was very hard to tell if the ball went through or not.
He's making excuses for me. I stuffed up again, ladies and gentlemen. It's the 37th stuff up today. I'm not having a good day. Keast, little short worm burner. O'Malley. They're all trying to kick it off the ground. Now, I reckon that's a kick for beneath the knees. The way that he signalled that was beneath the knees. So Ericsson gets a long clearing kick out. Oh, I bet you that's Reimer. The way he took that, yeah, that's Jay Reimer. Clean hands this fella's got. Does a beautiful right foot step. And hits Jeremy. There's the quality of Jaden Reimer there in that 30 seconds. Jeremy Eddy cascades down the left field and hits it straight to Luke Rawnsley, who goes square. Got to take that, Durbridge. Does bravely. And he's away. Left-footed. Down the field. Push out, I thought. Paid. Against Duval. Umpire in perfect position. Lucas Holmes. Professionally will give that ball back slowly, as you can see. And he's done exactly what you would expect from an experienced footballer, giving it back and taking the time. Short pass is awful, except Gibson's got a paddock. Now, Abe's left-footed. What can he do from there? Oh, hang on. That's a goal to Gibson, I reckon. Umpire Sullivan, great goal, Abe Gibson. That goal will have gone 65 metres at 10 o'clock tonight at the Commonwealth, Lucas Holmes. Great work, Gibson. Newcastle City, 63 points in front. 83-20. Lucas Holmes.
Sports Coast Trophy and Embroidery. Sports Coast Trophy, the leading supplier of trophies and embroidery on the Central Coast. They're also proud supporters of the Black Diamond AFL.
Here's Gibson. Hits this left, but he's got some bias on it. Lovely work again. The two-fingered salute. Loves it, Gibson. So well done to Abe. And, not looking good for Nelson Bay. That would be an understatement. Ball comes out here. This is Tom Wood. Out to Thornton. Finds Price on the chest, and he drops what he would always have taken. Great tackle. Very well done, Harry Keys. Very disciplined. Backs up. Now he's in trouble. That's holding the ball. Luke Price comes back and redeems himself. Luke's almost within distance. Reimer's going down to the left of screen. Barton in short. Reimer's getting himself in the square, but Kalman's going in there as well. So Rawnsley's got Reimer, and Kalman's in the square as well here. And Price is going to actually kick this one after the siren. So Price comes in, can't play on, has to take the shot. Newcastle City have got the tall timber down there. Can Price get the distance? Got a good piece of it. Oh, you're kidding me. What a superb kick, Luke Price, from a long way away. Bit too late, though. Nelson Bay, 3-8-26. Newcastle City, 12-11-83. Goal kickers, Matthew Enright, 4. 2 each to Jackson Crawford and Max Quinlan for City, and along with Pat Gillingham, Cam Keast, Abe Gibson, and Kate Triffett with the singles for City. And Lucas Holmes, Nelson Bay, please.
Nelson Bay, goal kickers, singles for Todd Thornton, Aaron Clayton, and as we saw just then, Luke Price.
Who kicked that from outside 50. What a superb kick. He's kicked at 55 and he needed to kick at 53. So well done to Luke. And, 57 points. It's going to be pretty much a last quarter where we'll just see what happens in that last quarter. But Nelson Bay won't win today. And their form is a bit of worry going into the finals, Lucas Holmes.
It is. We've seen this year that, as we've seen in previous years, that the top top 2 or 3 sides. There's a fair gap between the top 2 or 3 sides and the rest, which was brought in the equalisation policy at the start of the year to try and sort of minimise that gap. But it's not a short term thing, rather, David.
Indeed, it's not. We'll be back with you shortly for the final quarter here at Dick Burwell Oval.
It's like I'm dreaming, you're the one I'm all about. Say
The Haval H2. From just $23,990 drive away. Every drive is a surprise. Have it all.
Welcome back to Dick Burwell Oval. Lucas Holmes, Cardiff, as Lucas Holmes has some Maltesers. What a disgrace. So Cardiff have defeated Killarney Vale by 55 points there at Royal Hillsborough. And Terrigal-Avoca, you were just showing me, leading by about 25 over Warners Bay.
Four goals about.
Okay, yep, that's 25. Singleton's beaten the entrance Baddo Bay by 170 in the plate. Terrigal-Avoca leading in the plate. Gosford's leading Newcastle City in the plate. And Maitland leading Muswellbrook in the plate as well. Up there at Weirman Field in the Hunter Valley Derby, which when you come from the Hunter Valley, which I don't, means a lot to people up there. They love playing against one another up there. Real rivalry.
They sure do, David.
Newcastle City listening to the final instructions and just need to continue on and finish here, Lucas. And percentage doesn't mean too much to them. They're well in front of Cardiff on percentage. They're just that game behind. And their whole season comes down to next week now. If they want to get in that double chance, they must beat Terrigal-Avoca, and then they've got to have Cardiff beat Terrigal-Avoca beat Cardiff at Hillsborough in the last round. That's going to be an exciting day for us, certainly. If everything's if everything's still up for grabs, then that's going to be a great last day of footy.
And will be for last game of senior football at Hillsborough as well, David?
Well, I'm not sure that's the case because I don't think that my viewing. I saw some footage recently of what's now called the Pasterville complex at Cameron Park, and I'm not sure that it was ready. What I don't know is if that was file footage, or if that was recent.
Yeah.
But then looking at another year for cricket, because they're putting a block in there. So I hope so. My understanding was always going to be the last game in Hillsborough, so just have to wait and see. Cardiff might have to come and play some home games at Fane Oval. You're in. Let's see how that'll go down. Led the lead.
Not too well, I wouldn't think. I'll leave it at that.
Spoken from a true Warners Bay man, ladies and gentlemen. good to see some healthier rivalries in this league, and there's a few. And Cardiff and Warners Bay, when you go there, there's just a real atmosphere to it. Lucas said there's a real edge to it. Some significant dislikes amongst one another, and no love lost would be a fair statement.
It is.
So that looks like Ryan Mudd starting in the middle. It is. Goodness me, there's some players in the middle. Price, Reimer, Sean, Batten, Payne, the big fella Kalman. 47 points of difference here. 57 points of difference. That's 57. 57 points of difference. My father's having apoplexy, the mathematician. So away we go. Just about getting to rock and roll in this last quarter. Foghorn sends us away. Dave Parsons, ball up. Kalman, as he's done so often today, gets the tap out. Price, as is always the case, smooth mover in traffic. Lovely pass out here, finds Matthew Jews. Got the new haircut this week, Louis. He's got a short back and sides, I reckon. Thornton, he's got to go, but Thornton's right. This play here can stay there because Matthew Jews ran straight past him. Billy Barton's gone forward and takes the mark just inside the arc. Too far out for Billy. He's not that great a kick. He's not a bad kick, but really, as a kicker, would be best described as a ruckman. And for once, that wasn't the commentator's moz. I was right on the money. Durbridge looks short for Payne. That's going to be a big mark. Couldn't quite grab it. Goes one-handed. Thornton pumps it forward. Should be a mark taken there. No. So Harrison Keith's got a bit of room here. Has a bounce, if you don't mind. Touch of arrogance there. I wouldn't have thought it was advisable. Batten, so still under the pump here, City. Durbridge with that left foot goes wide. Got to make a contest. Grace stands his ground, turns around, and gets a kick away. Well done, Grace, but picked off by Batten, who's been very serviceable today, Lucas Holmes.
It's been very good. That back six of Newcastle City has just chipped down the line. Hasn't let much go through, David.
It is interesting that the three best sides in the competition have all got excellent back sixes, Lucas Holmes. Aaron Seen pushes off Grace, goes long and direct. Can't quite grab it with Quinlan. Butters up, gets a strange little handball out. Got to butter up again, Max. Does. Makes another effort. No, misses the tackle that time. Deval goes wide and they're away. Grace backwards. Now they're still back under the pump a bit. Smothered by Seen. Not sure if you knew much about it. There might have even been a Falcon. Seen. Held in. No prior. Ball comes out. Play on called. Continues on. David Wood. Farrant. Gets a good piece of that one. Straight down the throat of Jackson. Oh, this time I think that is Triffett. Looking here for options. Goes square. Finds Baker, who's got a paddock. Again goes short. Patrick Gillingham. Got the ball, as you can see, about 10 metres from the edge of the centre square. Long and direct. Kalman! Can't quite grab it at the second go. Ball held in. That'll be no prior. 2.5 minutes gone. Lucas Holmes, Mr. Malteser himself.
Thanks, David. There's sort of the hang a bit more in this. Had a bit more forward time. Have Nelson Bay as Mudd goes up.
He does. Gibson again looking for his second. So Newcastle City 12-12 with that behind. As Jake Lowe singles a behind. And I'm assuming they'll go, Lucas, to their zone defence as they have. There's a short man out to the left for Eddie, right on the pocket. There's two of them now. There's one player out there who is Grinya. And Eddie's gone short. And there's a stack of plays under him. Very, very unselfish. Quinlan should have taken that, really. Out comes Chris Eddy. Dwyer with Wood right on his hammer, out in front of the hammer cage. Ball goes out of bounds. So 3.5 minutes gone. No goals yet this quarter.
David Wood's been fairly serviceable, rather, for Nelson Bay, I would think. David?
Done a good job on some plays bigger than him. I agree with that. Good call, Louis Holmes. Kalman, left-handed, loves using that left hand, although he's actually right-handed. The ball comes out. And umpire says, that'll be mine, thanks. Patrick Lally. Up the ball goes. Kalman right-handed that time. At the back there is Grace. Feeds a handball off to David Wood. And there's Jay Reimer. 5-6 handballs, 7 handballs. And Reimer's freed up. Very good football, Nelson Bay. Superb. Finish that, Billy. That'll be... Oh, he's had a... Can he make that tackle? That is a terrific team goal. That's one of the plays of the season, Nelson Bay. 5, 6, 7 handballs, and they're coming from all angles, despite the ruckman having the worst bounce in history. Lovely goal to Barton. Good football, Nelson Bay. That's what they're capable of. 4-8-32, Newcastle City 12-12-84. Lucas J. Holmes.
Marksmen Workforce. Marksmen Workforce have been great supporters of the Black Diamond AFL since 2016.
Here we go. Reimer. Barton marks it. Has a bounce and it goes skew-if. Just comes back. What a valiant effort and a little short grubby kick. And that is really outstanding football from a side that's been well beaten today. They're down by 52, but that's good footy.
The ball movement from there was very crisp from Nelson Bay then, David.
Doesn't help that the man on the end was the Elliot Davey medalist, does it?
It doesn't.
It makes a big difference.
Very good core midfield as well, do Nelson Bay have?
Lucan McCauley's been promoted to be a central umpire in Black Diamond Cup. That's great, isn't it, Lucas?
Sure, he does a very good job, Lincoln McCauley.
One of our other umpires is left this morning for Queensland, Harrison Crook, for some Australian gridiron trials. We wish Harrison all the best up there in Brisbane. As we do for Gemma Astley, who's off this week to the Cricket Centre of Excellence for the Australian Indigenous side. We wish them all both the best of luck.
We sure do. Great to have multi-talented sportsmen that we have around our league, David.
Indeed, and if you look at Harrison Crook, he's an excellent build for a defensive lineman. He's short and big, solid unit, and it would be really handy on an American football field. So well done, good luck, Harrison. All the best. Grenier comes out, seen putting pressure on Grace. Coming through was Anderson. Seen, little short left foot, and as Lucas Holmes said, he's been good today. Lovely mark by the monster, Cam Keast. Too strong. Been well held today, though. I don't think he's had his greatest day. Little short pass, beautiful. Enright's on for 5 here. Now, Matthew will look for short options. Gillingham's running into space, picked up by Duval. Grace is on the mark. And Enright does go short. Slack marking. And that's Durbridge. They're tired, aren't they, Louis? Nelson Bay?
They are. Fairly wide ground here at Dick Burwell Oval, though, David.
Yes, yeah, wide. Not hugely long, but it is. There's lots of depth to it and width. It's not narrow.
Been a fairly energy-sapping day with the weather we've had as well.
Very warm. Durbridge for his first. Straight over Jake Lowe's head. Lovely kick, Durbridge. Another goal, City. City 13-12-90. Nelson Bay 4-8-32. Lucas J. Holmes.
Subway Morisset. Subway Morisset is open 7 days a week. Breakfast, lunch and dinner. Trading hours 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Support local businesses. Subway, eat fresh.
Might be having some Subway tonight myself, I'll tell you. So, lovely kick from Durbridge. Really good technique. And a lovely punchy kick. So, we've got 7 1/4 minutes gone in this final quarter. Newcastle City up by 58. Keast back in the ruck now to get some action. Jeremy Eddy gets a handball out straight to the monster himself. Ball comes out here.
There's a Nelson Bay played down in background. It's Billy Barton struggling, which looks like a left knee, possibly, David.
Thank you. Keep an eye on that one. Sam Payne's got the football. Good pickup, actually. Nice tackle. Van Huisteed can't quite grab it in front of Thornton. Thornton will not let him go. Now, how is Barton at the moment, Lucas? Oh, there he goes. It looks like a left ankle or shin. So, trainers with him. Don't know if it's cramped. No, I don't think that's cramped.
That's not cramped by the look on Billy Barton's face,
No,
David.
it's not. Reimer. Beautiful. Straight through the middle. This smooth mover. Finds his comrade, Luke Price. Good pass, Price. 3-on-1 back here for Newcastle City, so they will get the football, despite the best efforts of Matthew.
Just being helped from the field by 2 trainers here is Billy Barton. Doesn't look in a great state.
Thank you. And that ball could be dragged back in. And the ball's out. It's come all the way out. The umpires just let that go. Interesting. Must say I agree with the way that was umpired. Good job. Little short left footer comes out here. Cannons off a couple of players. Lucks a fortune. Oh, gets dragged out of it by Jeremy. Oh, lovely left-hand Dustin Martin fend. Almost superb football. So Rawnsley comes out wide, looking for space. And that, in fact, is too much space. So there's Barton coming off. He is moving okay, Lucas. But that left ankle, I think, is the problem. I would imagine they put him in cotton wool. They've got bigger games, more important games to play.
One of their very important cogs in the Nelson Bay machine is Billy Barton.
Yeah, they've got a tough game next week at Hillsborough, haven't they? If that ball comes to Baker. Well done by Crawford, really. Off the ground, gets 55 metres. Ben Eddy's back there. Lots of pressure on Ben. Not held. Gets rid of it. Gillingham could have done a better job. Very strong man, Ben Eddy, though. There's his brother, Chris. Has a bounce. Goes long, straight down the spine, and picks out Kate Triffett. That's 50 metres.
Yep.
Luke Price. Anyway, leave it, David. Luke Price interfered there. Should have been paid 50 under the rules of football. Now at the back, Luck's a fortune. Away goes Black. Oh, almost Gibson, a spectacular one-hander. Ducked his head. Now, Van Huisted should give that off the hands. And he had Quinlan left alone. Behind, Newcastle City 13-13-91. Nelson Bay 4-8-32. The clock's gone just over 10 minutes. LJ?
Should have elected, if he'd gone to elect the kick, he kicked it, he's chosen to kick it, he should have kicked the goal. They won't be happy with that, the Newcastle City coaching staff, as once again Chris Eddy goes to himself.
Oh, Reimer! What a specky, beautiful grab by Reimer, who's been very good today in a beaten side. Spots up the Val. Short, Grace, who'll look for a handball, I'd imagine. Dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. 2-on-1. Black does the business. Dwyer throws that out, really. Now, Enright's got a chance at 5 if he can settle. Matthew Enright! Misses. Newcastle City 13-14-92. Nelson Bay 4-8-32. He's been on 4 goals for a while too, Louis.
He has. That's probably been their only downside today, Newcastle. He's been their errant shooting.
Haven't been too many things wrong. Coming away with 4 big outs and they do this. It bodes for a fascinating last couple of weeks. That game next week, Newcastle City and Terragovoca. As Lucas Holmes would go, oh, that's out of bounds on the full. Gee, Farrance just got that inside if he has. Took it one grab to be fair. Ball comes up. Durbridge, Gillingham tackles. The big man, Keast, goes forward to hotspot. Quinlan! Great football, Keast. Really smart kick. And Quinlan's in the square, and we'll go back and kick Newcastle City's 14th goal. And his 3rd for a reasonable return for the young man. Just go back, go through the motion, son. Does. Nice sharp kick. And Max Quinlan kicks his 3rd. So, Newcastle City 14-14-98. Nelson Bay 4-8-32. Lucas J. Holmes.
Hunter Haval. Looking for a feature-packed Prem SUV for your family? Check out Hunter Haval and the range of affordable SUVs. Starting from just $23,990 drive away with a 5-year warranty and 5 years roadside assistance. Hunter Haval will give you more. Book your test drive today.
Final embers of this game here. Won't be a really happy Nelson Bay side after today, Lucas. They've been ordinary.
Yeah, they've just been a bit below par. You'd sort of expect more from their trying to come back from their disappointing performance last week.
Great tap out, Keith. Sorry, go.
You can't take anything away from Newcastle City, though, with a few down on troops, but they have been very good today.
Reed Van Huisted with a handball that shouldn't have been paid because it was a throw. If that's a goal, that's brilliant. Goodness me, just so to see that was Patrick Gillingham. Oh, what a lovely goal, Gillingham. Love to see a replay of that, please, guys. He spotted that at a sharp angle. And that's Pat's second. Newcastle City 15-14, Nelson Bay 4-8. 72 points of difference, and there's some... Yeah, here we go. So, Reed Van Huisted, watch this marginal. Pat Gillingham, sharp angle. Jake Lowe did not move, went straight at him, Lucas. That's a superb finish by Patrick Gillingham.
It was only off a few steps as well and cleared the goal line by a fair margin there, did Pat Gillingham.
Some talent in that family, I'll tell you. His sister's a very good footballer. And they're both strong and they're both skillful. Cameron Keast unopposed. Aaron Seen has been close to the best player on the ground, really. He's been superb. Enright have been calculations. We've got a Subway Morris at the end of the day, Louis, and be very interesting to see who we give that to. Payne smothered, comes back for more. Superb handball in a very difficult traffic, comes out to Rawnsley. Got to be a contest made there. Grace holds his ground again. Not for the first time today. He showed some real courage, Grace. It's been okay today, actually. Off towards Mudd. Short. And almost a mark there. Couldn't quite be taken. Oh, finish it, Grinya.
Of course he will.
Oh, my goodness me, that's a superb finish. That is brilliant. Adam Grenier, love just when we get a replay of that. Have a look at how tight that's in the Jackson Crawford area. And we've seen Grenier do that exact same thing in that exact same pocket before. We'll just get a replay of that showing you that. So it's Newcastle City 104. Here we go. Grenier keeps the ball in. Check side kick. And John Sullivan comes back and says 6 points. Very well done. Bit too late, but great work. 5-8, 38, 15, 14, 104. Lucas, yes, lovely bit of skill.
Sure was. Very classy players. We've said on numerous occasions. Was in the RAF team of the century, David? Adam Grenier?
Not sure if he... I'm sure that Clayton was. I don't know about Grenier. I wouldn't be surprised because he's a very good player.
Yeah.
Patrick Lally with the football. Keast. No, it doesn't go up. Mudd gets that ball down. Jeremy gets that ball out. Little short left foot comes out. Superb spot. And I do mean superb to Pritchett, who should go back and take his kick. The umpire's called play on. Steps Gibson. Finish it, son. Lovely skill, Jordan Pritchett. Not sure about the play on call. I thought that was a bit harsh on him, but he's then gone and stepped his man, gone whooshka, and finished it with a left foot. What a lovely goal to Pritchett.
I've just heard from the scorers it was his first goal as well, Jordan Pritchett, so congratulations.
First goal for the Marlins. Fantastic. Something you'll remember. Well, you want it with a replay like this. When you see the replay, comes in, left foot step, bang, goes around Gibson and finishes absolutely beautiful. Good football, Pritchett. Nelson Bay down by 60. 16 minutes gone now. Great to see him have such confidence, whack off that left foot, get around Gibson and finish with a lovely left footer. Patrick Lally with the football. Mudd's in the centre with Barton on the bench, injured with that what we think's a left ankle injury, David. Keast, big tap, 15 metres. Handball out to Seen, just gets that ball out under enormous pressure. Grace, who's been serviceable today, it's the best game I've seen Grace play, and gets another kick. He has been good today. He may have ended up in their top 6, Lucas Holmes. He's been very solid, and in a couple of occasions been really courageous. Short pass as is his go. And finds Price. They've got to go way back on the mark. Price. Oh, good grab. Bit of shepherding out on Pritchett there. Well done by Gibson, to be fair. That's dangerous. And picked off by Tommy Wood. Nelson Bay finishing full of running here, but it's way too late. Wood. Goes off, short. Well, he's probably got that to the one bloke on the side that can kick you from that distance in Price, who also goes short. That's Jeremy, I think, from this distance. I need my glasses to tell.
Yeah.
That is Jeremy, I think.
It is. Just had a brief moment where he turned around there.
Yeah, thank you. No, these things do help at over 150 metres. So, Jeremy with a kick. Now, he is on a tight angle. He'll kick from 45. He's capable. Holy cow, that's another very skillful effort. Jeremy Eddy, yet another goal in this quarter where Nelson Bay have kicked 3 in a row through Grenier, Pritchett and Eddy. Again, it's too late. Nelson Bay 7-8, Newcastle City 15-14, Lucas Holmes.
Belmont 16-footer sailing club. Located on the picturesque Lake Macquarie, Belmont 16s is one of the premier venues in the Hunter region, offering the very best in dining, promotions and entertainment. For all the latest news and promotions, visit 16s.com.au or find us on Facebook, the home of the Black Diamond AFL.
You wonder if Nelson Bay had started playing football like this a bit earlier today. Newcastle City have now had 4 goals kicked on the last quarter to 3, so they'll want to finish a little bit better with a couple of minutes to go here. Keast is doing very well, straight down Seen's throat. No, that's not ball because he got rid of it, gentlemen, quickly. Enright, he'll go short with that left. Van Huisteed, can he hold his feet? He does. Preference with him. He's being held out of that, I thought, Mr. Lally. Good contest in the ground level. Well done by the young bloke and by Farron. They all had a crack there. Good football. Still think that Van Huisteed touch unlucky, but it's life.
It is. You see Jeremy Eddy going back now.
Yeah. Luke Price gets that ball. Now, Luke Price sitting at the back at quarterback, actually. Screws that ball over his shoulder. Seen with great courage. Misses. Great tackle, Rawnsley. Superb. Now, they all sit around and look at one another as Ben Eddy comes through like a steam train. Seen can't quite pick it up this time. Ball comes out. That's Benetti. Gets that ball over. Oh, they've put him off balance. It's the first time. Oh, the umpire's gone down here. Oh, the umpire's gone down, and I'm not sure what's happened here. They should stop play. Lucas, did you see what happened?
He possibly hit his as he tripped and fell forward and hit his head on the turf.
Okay, let's stop play here for the moment. That must be Dave Parsons who's gone down. There he is here in our cameras. Can we keep going, please? Oh, he's been clipped accidentally. That's, he's in a bad way. Can we go back to live action, please? Yeah. Hopefully they'll get Dave off as soon as possible, Lucas. Roger Price is out there, the president of Nelson Bay. He's been struck a glancing blow. The best thing that we can do is get him off. And he's struggling. So it would appear that he's going to come off under the attention of trainers. There's 3 or 4 people there with him, which is great to see. And we'll go very unusual, Lucas Holmes, to a 2-umpire set. I won't say too much more about that. Sorry, I will say this. Best wishes to Dave. He's jogging off. He's been struck a glancing blow, and let's just hope he's okay.
Yep.
That's all I'm going to say. Eddie, Jeremy, down this combox flank. Short ball to Price. Started to come into the game, Luke, which is good to see. Finishing full of running here in Nelson Bay. Thornton, one of their best players today and the whole season. Short ball intercepted. Seams in there, puts a good tackle on, as is his way. He's a tough rooster. And out of bounds we go. Just on the half-forward flank. Nelson Bay down by 54. Just a couple of minutes. How much time left, guys? 5 minutes left yet. So it could be a longish quarter. There have been a lot of goals kicked, Lucas Holmes.
There have been.
Reimer, Grinya. Hot spot. Can't quite. Good defensive play there. Payne's got the roving. Needs to give that off. Fine scene, and he's away. Off they go, Newcastle City. Perfect spot, and I do mean perfect out the Pat Gillingham. Goes square. Who's he spotted? Stephen Batten careering downfield. He's got no one with him. Here comes Benetti, and he's going to go square. What simple football from Newcastle City against a tiring defence. Duval is absolutely knackered, and Matt Enright's now got his chance for his 5th goal again, Lucas Holmes. This time I don't think he'll dish. I think he'll have a crack at this. No one else is running for him, and he'll have a shot at his 5th goal today. Matthew Enright, kick from 38, 39. Poster. So, Newcastle City 15-15, 105. Nelson Bay 7-8, 50. They're up by 55. Lucas Holmes.
Matt Enright will definitely come into our conversation for Subway Morisset Player of the Match, David.
He will.
He's very good in that first half.
We've also got a Bar Petite there award as well.
We do.
Short ball to Grace. Goes long as he possibly can. Over there towards Ericsson. Steps his man. Gets a handball away. Pritchett. Good step, but dispossessed by Kalman. A very good work. Fine scene. Onto his left. That's danger. Oh, underneath it. Man, a lot of plays they've gone underneath the flight of the ball, I reckon. Benetti off towards Grace. Grace would have got 20 or 25 today. He's been very serviceable. Interference there from Gillingham. Gets that ball out. Well, the balance, that's Reimer. Grace again. 15-metre pass is perfect to David Wood. Down the flank. Price has held his own ground there, which he's entitled to do. Up comes Gibson. Gets a little short handball away. Great tackle. Harder-Kynan. Another good tackle, Gibson. And out of bounds. So out of bounds, 23 and a quarter minutes gone in elapsed time. Lincoln McCauley and Pat Lally are umpiring on their own at the moment with Dave Parsons off the field injured. Kalman, big tap. Now, Seen's got a chance at this. Grenier pushes him straight out of the way. Effective. Out that ball comes Pritchett. Gets rid of it. Ball comes back to quarterback. Newcastle City all over this. Harder-Kynan will launch now. Down the flank, and they are away. Jackson Crawford. Held up by Duval. Close to 50. Jackson Crawford. Oh, intercepted. Poor option. Grenier, who's also been excellent today. 45-degree kick. Oh, called play, and I thought that was a mark. Clearly called play. You can hear it in the effects microphone. Coming straight. Durbridge has also been very handy today. Sets them away again. That's Thompson. Steps inside. Oh, what a superb kick to Cameron Keast. And he's off, and the big man kicks another goal. So second goal to Keast. Very good open play football from Newcastle City. Newcastle City 16-15, 111. Nelson and Nelson Bay are 7-8-50. LJ.
Pullman Magenta Shores Resort. Pullman Magenta Shores Resort is an exceptional 5-star resort set on 52 acres on the New South Wales Central Coast. Nestled between the pristine waters of the Pacific Ocean, Tuggerah Lakes, and surrounded by National Park, this resort offers guests everything. Impeccable service, amazing on-site facilities, sophisticated dining options, modern villa-style accommodation, and spectacular event spaces. Also a proud BDAFL charity partner.
Away we go. Pictures there of Matt Enright running into the square. And umpire Macaulay says, I'll have that, thank you. Last gasp of the game here, just a couple of minutes to go. Mudd and Kalman. Kalman's been dominant at the taps today, and I do mean dominant. Enright steps into all sorts of trouble and should be pinged, and is. Thornton, advantage paid. In fact, advantage stopped by Macaulay. That was the correct option. There was a lot of heavy traffic, and that's their training. So good work. Thornton, he's looking to go square here, is he, to Anderson? He will. Come straight at us. Anderson out here takes a mark.
Anderson goes short, a scrubby little kick.
Short? Goodness gracious me, that's about a 5-metre kick, Louis. That ball's gone out, not paid. Anderson, 2 ordinary disposals in a minute, puts his team under enormous pressure. Matthew comes out of there, Grinya looking. Goes square, finds someone, and beautifully does, and finds Matthew. 35-metre kick, intercepted beautifully by that very good Newcastle City defence. It's only given up 7 goals today. So, yeah, Louis Holmes, some of the names will throw into the best play. Certainly Enright, Seen, been very good. The whole Durbridge has had a good day out. Jackson Crawford's been lively, I beg your pardon.
Rawnsley and
Rawnsley,
Baker.
well, Rawnsley's always good.
Yep.
Seen, he's the bloke, in my opinion, he's going to go very close. Aaron Seen, magnificent spot to Keast. He should have taken that. And he'll try and make up for it. Now, that's a great tackle. Thank you. We've got 10 seconds, so it's Foghorns in the background shortly. And Nelson Bay will go down here, and quite a disappointing performance by 10 goals. Nelson Bay 7-8-50, Newcastle City 16-15, 111. Lucas Holmes, goal kickers for both sides, please.
Goal kickers, firstly, for Newcastle City. 4 goals for Matthew Enright. 3 goals for Max Quinlan. 2 goals each for Pat Gillingham, Cam Keast, and Jackson Crawford. And then singles for Cade Triffett, Abe Gibson, and Ethan Durbridge. And then for Nelson Bay, all single goal kickers. Adam Grignard, Luke Price, Aaron Clayton, Todd Thornton, Jordan Pritchett, Billy Barton, and Jeremy Eddie David.
Thank you, Lucas Holmes. Appreciate that. I suppose it's a pretty convincing performance by Newcastle City. Second disappointing performance in a row from Nelson Bay for mine, to be quite blunt. Just going to see if I can get a score for everybody here from the Black Diamond Cup game fixture, Lucas, while we're talking, between Terrigal Avoca and your beloved Warners Bay. That score will be coming out very shortly for you, ladies and gentlemen, so just bear with me a second. So right now, at the moment, it's 4:10 in the afternoon, and so Terrigal Avoca 11-7-73, and Warners Bay are playing good football, 8-7-55, Lucas. Now, that is into the last quarter, and Jack Grimmon's kicked the first goal of that quarter. After Warners Bay kicked the last 4 of the third quarter, Spinks Roach, Deverell Roach, both Jakes. So Warners Bay holding their own and going good, quite well. Back to this game here, off to our Bar Petite and Subway Morisset awards. Subway Morisset will give to a Newcastle City player. I will straight away say that I agree with your comments earlier, and I think that Aaron Seen deserves the Subway Morisset award. I think there are a lot of other good players, but I think he was the best player on the ground for mine.
Yeah, Matt Enright, his first half was very, very good, but I think as the game wore on further, Aaron Seen was more involved in the play, and Matt Enright probably phased out a slight bit.
Yeah, he did. Other good players, the entire back six. Durbridge had a good day out. Rawnsley Baker, very good. Harder kind of there's an in for you.
Stephen Batten.
Stephen Batten had a lot of football today. Most impressive. So Subway Morisset 2, Aaron Seen. Nelson Bay for the Bar Petite. Look, Grace had a good day out. We mentioned him a lot. We were talking about Thornton. You said that David Wood was serviceable,
Yep.
I believe, Lucas Holmes.
Yes.
Reimer was just about their best player. For mine, it's between Reimer and Thornton with Grace. Yeah, Reimer and Thornton. Where are you at with those two?
I think where most of the football, Reimer was very, very good in the middle, but I think where most of the football that Nelson Bay started with and to launch their attacks was off that sort of off the back of the square on that half-bank flank. And in my opinion, I think Todd Thornton was their best player on the ground.
Thank you, Lucas Holmes. So Barbateet, Todd Thornton, Subway Morissette to Aaron Seen in an excellent display. Lucas, it's been a pleasure commentating with you today. Newcastle City winning quite comfortably, 16-15 by 61 points, 16-15 to 7-8. A massive game for Newcastle City next week at home against Terry-Lavoca. And you and I will be at a massive day for the Colonial Vale Club, a massive reunion weekend, 20 years of premiership sides, 87, 97, 2007. There's an article coming out that we've done with the great Corey Shackleton about the club and what it's like. Love calling it at Adelaide Shirt Oval. It's a good place to call from, good football ground, and look forward to it very much. And be interesting to see how Warners Bay go about it. Be very interested to see if Warners Bay can do something, can come back from the dead in the last few minutes of that game. But it looks like their final chances are just about evaporated. So, look, Louis, thank you for today. You had a good day, mate?
I did. Thank you very much, David. It's a pleasure as normal to be commentating with you each and every week.
Thank you. Same here. Wonderful. Thanks to our great team, Finn and Clay and our EP Liam. Great work, Ranger. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you to all the boys. On behalf of our expert commentator and resident Warners Bay guru, Lucas Holmes, my name is David Redden. It's a very good afternoon from Dick Burwell Oval in Nelson Bay. Good afternoon.